Coffee with Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good evening, every single one of you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me this glorious Sunday. Thank you. This is Sunday Morning Coffee with me, Dustin. Channel's Keto Simple. You know that. My journey here, starting at over 420 pounds. My journey with you, sharing my experiences. Let's just get started. How is everybody doing today? Hope you have your coffee. I have mine. It's right here. Good morning. Oh, let's see. Not sure what's going on here. But anyway, so happy to see you all here today. Looks like I'm looking here to see who all was first. Miss Evil herself is here. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for being here. She says, good morning, friends. Today, we're talking about some things that are near and dear to me. As always, you know, something that I've been thinking about, I think is very important, and that is living intentionally. Now, I mean, that may mean something different to you than it does to me. But yeah, let's go ahead and here. Let's see. Evelyn saying hello to Jerry. Jerry's asking a very valid question here because I made a mistake. She says, hello, and a wonderful morning to you, Evelyn. She says, someone erased my comment. I don't know who did that. I don't erase comments unless they're really bad. And maybe it just be something that happens with the system sometimes. Dustin's thumbnail reads verbatim, Monday morning coffee. Yes, because I had, at one point in time, had missed a Sunday morning for some reason, because we were busy doing something, but I was back on a Monday, so we did a Monday morning, and then I was looking at that thumbnail and was like, okay, I think I'm going to use that today, not paying attention that it said Monday, even though I looked right at it, because you know how that goes, right? You look right at something, and you just choose it and don't even realize that it says something completely different than what you intended. So that's what happened. I fixed it. I updated it. It's fixed now. It says Sunday. It is Sunday. It is not Monday today. Just in case you were wondering, today is not Monday. It is Sunday. It is the morning time, and I have coffee. So I think all is right with the world. As always, remember that I am usually about 30 minutes behind in the comments. So if you come in and you do send a comment, just have some patience because I am slow and I will be talking about things and I'll get to the comments before we leave. I'm here for about 3 hours today. So buckle up, cozy up, grab a blanket, grab your coffee, and let's get just right into the next comment here. Brian is here. Good morning, all. Good morning, Brian. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. See what happens when I make a mistake. Brian Doyle was like, did I miss a day? Am I late for work now? Yes. Yes, indeed you are. Rick, Mr. Quackers himself, is here. Good morning, Rick, the tallest man in carnivore that's in this chat right now. Darkwing Duck, just for you, my friend. Let's see. Yeah, Evelyn, just like me, I did not see it myself. She goes, yes, it does, Jerry. I didn't even see that. Just check the date. Yes. Yes, Sean is here. Good morning, Sean, my friend. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope Shell is doing wonderful as well. Hope you're all listening. And then Jerry says, are you adding tomorrow too? I'm here for it if you are. That will be before my Monday morning Kelly Hogan class. Can we get more Dustin? Do you need more of me? You'll be seeing me again tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my good friends Chris and Victor. We are doing Keto Crusade tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there for it because we're excited to talk to you all about the wonderful things that are the success. So tonight on Keto Crusade, we're talking about success and all the good things that come and all the wonderful things that have happened. Because it seems like we've been focusing on the negative for too long, and we are not focusing on anything negative tonight, as far as I can tell. Sean, you the man. I don't know about that. I'm just here. I'm just here. See, even Stacy was confused. She said, had me confused. Good morning, Sunday morning friends. So glad you guys could join me today. We've got hearts from Jerry. Let's see. The spectacle will begin. That is true. The spectacle. Jeffa. Good morning, everyone. I made it on time. Fantastic. I went short. I made sure to restart my computer twice because, sometimes things just tick up and I don't like that. So that's what we're doing here. Let's see. Andy is here. Good morning, Andy and Susan. If Susan is awake, but she may not be because she likes to sleep in because she's smarter than us. Yeah. Yeah. As much as I love getting up, well, okay. As much as I detest getting up early, I love hanging out with you guys early in the morning. Because by the time we're done here, it's about 10:30. I usually lay down for a nap. I shouldn't. I have work to do. I have lots of stuff to accomplish. But naps are just one of those things. I just gotta have it. Just gotta have it. Jeffrey Cox is in the house. He says, good morning, everyone. Dustin, you spectacular man. How are you this fine Sunday morning? I am fantastic. But I have a question for you guys. I have a question. How many of you that have cats have a cat that will not stay out of the trash can? I've known that dogs will rummage the trash can, but we have a cat, Bruce, the white and black cat that you see sometimes on Tuesdays, keeps jumping into the trash can. He gets up on the island, jumps down into the trash can, and brings out stuff that he shouldn't be having. So you throw stuff in the trash can, and then he gets in there and rummages around. I do not understand this. Have any of you ever heard this before? Also, the other day I heard him fart. I've never heard a cat fart. It startled me. It was weird. Maybe TMI, but that's what we're here for. Lived experiences. I've lived an experience of hearing a cat fart. So yeah, there's that. He likes to jump into the trash can. I have to go to the store today and buy a new trash can because, okay, so the trash can we have in the kitchen is a double bag trash can. And the lid broke off many years ago. Okay, as trash cans sometimes do, the lids are kind of the weakest point. But I have to go buy a new one because I can't keep the cat out of the trash can. Yes, Rick says it's ducky time. Oh, let's see. Who else? People saying hello to each other. Down with the sickness. Oh. I do not like that band. If you know, you know. Can't play the song though, and I will not. I will not play the song. Do not like that band. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Is Dustin having issues? I have issues every day. Okay, Brian. Every day. Issues. That's my middle name. If you didn't know, now you do. Becky! Good morning, Becky. How are you? Fantastic that you are here. I truly appreciate you joining us this morning. People saying hello, 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 hello to each other. Jeffrey Cox says yesterday, actually got in the sun for about a half an hour ish and did a tiny bit of exercise, made all the difference in sleep. 7 unbroken hours last night. So, funny story. Yesterday, I met up at a restaurant for lunch with some coworkers for a job that I left in 2019. It was good to see them. It's kind of a continuation of what happened a couple of weeks ago when we lost a coworker that I used to work with. His name was Malcolm, and he was a very important person to me at the job. I mean, you kind of get to know somebody when you work with them for as long as I was at that company. I was there for about 12 years, and he was a kind of a mentor. You look up to them. You work on projects together. He was kind of like the dad. He just had that dad vibe, and he was just always calm and he always had kind things to say and so we had kind of discussed about getting together because it's been a long time since we've all gotten together, and we got together yesterday for lunch. And then you know how the Midwesterners do. If you live in the Midwest, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You get together, you're all sitting around, you're talking, you're chatting, and then as people start to leave, you get up, and as you're getting ready to leave, you stand up, and then you stand next to the table for a little while and you keep chatting. So you're chatting as you're sitting, and then you're chatting as you're standing. Then by the time you make it outside, you continue to stand more and talk more. So we got together about it was about 1:30. I got there about 1:45. I can't remember. It was like about 3 o'clock, 3:30 when everybody decided to kind of call it a day and leave the restaurant. But then me and three others stood outside of the restaurant until about 6 p.m. talking. Just stood there talking because again, we hadn't seen each other in a long time, and a lot of them do still work together, but they're all remote. So they don't really get together very often. Most of them just see each other on Teams, or they have all spread out to different departments because when I worked there, we were all in the same department. And some of us have, moved on to other companies and such. So, we don't really get to see each other all that often. And yeah, we end up standing out there till like 6 o'clock. That's a true, authentic Midwestern goodbye. Because you're talking at the restaurant, you stand up and you're talking next to the table at the restaurant for a while, and then you kind of feel like you're in the way, then you mosey outside. And it was a nice sunny day. It was brisk. It was a brisk day. So the wind would kind of when I'd pull my hood up a little bit, but then it was sunny when the sun was it was kind of nice and just sit around and talked. And it was so refreshing to get a chance to talk with old friends, much more than coworkers. I mean, you really become like family in that instance. And I've always said, you don't leave a good company, you leave bad management. And that's kind of what happened with that company. And realistically, these days, you want to continue to grow and you can want to continue to make more money. And realistically, these days, the longer you stay at one company, the more money you're leaving on the table, unless you're extremely lucky and get $2 raises a year or $3 raises every year, which is unlikely. Usually it's like 50 cents, 25 cents. They're giving you some kind of market cap raise, or, they're like, well, this is the best we can do. But if you were to leave a job and go and get a new position with a new company, you would always make at least $2 to $5 more an hour. If you do that every 2 years, over the course of your lifetime, you're making significantly more than if you stay at a company for 25 years and make 50 cents extra a year. So but I digress. I left that company. I needed to make a little bit more money. There was some things that were bothering me about that management. supervision issues that were kind of starting to bother me. We were in a situation where we were coming up into March and the beginning of the year. We're like almost into the third, almost out of the first quarter, and we still had not had any kind of solidified goals for the year. So you don't even know if you're behind the eight ball, if you're going to be having to play catch up for the rest of the year, because you're doing what you can, but you don't know what your goals are. So you don't know really where to focus. And there's just a lot of that corporate stuff that drives me nuts. So, that's kind of what happened with that. I don't know if you guys wanted to hear that or anything like that. But anyway, Christian Delorme, Vinyl Revival is in the house. Good morning. Bonjour, everybody. I feel terrible. I've been trying to get onto one of Christian's live shows on Sunday nights, but it seems like always something happens. Like when his show is starting, I'm at the grocery store and I have to go to two of them. I don't know. Being an adult, they said was going to be great. I think we were lied to. I think we need our money back. Let me know in the comments how you feel about being an adult. Thank you, Mr. Christian Delorme. I hope you and your wonderful wife are doing well today. Thank you for joining us. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you so very much. Becky says the intro more fancy every time. I like it. I love it. I love it. If you know anybody who's looking for fancy intros, anything like that, I'm happy to make those for people. I will have to charge a little something, but because it is time, but I do want to grow, and I would love to be able to do that for people. If anybody is making a YouTube channel, has need for that, reach out. Let me know. I don't charge a lot because I'm no professional, but I mean at least be compensated for the time because it does take a couple hours to make these type of things. But yeah, mm. Ah, this definitely is a party, and it started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Booby Goats is here. Probably one of my favorite screen names. Good morning, everyone. Dustin, you got me confused. Good morning, thumbnail said Monday. I fixed it. I'm sorry. It seems like there's always something, like whether something like an intro doesn't play the way I want it to, I used the wrong thumbnail. If something can go wrong, it will, I do believe. Did I say good evening? See, look, Evelyn. See, this. You said good evening, Dustin. First it's Monday, now it's evening. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. I know, I know, I know. I'm an L7 weenie. Is it like this? Like this? L7 weenie. Okay. All right now. That's right. John Gougahan is here. And if you don't know, John Gougahan's name is actually John Gagan. But we pronounce it Gougahan around here because that's what we do. Mr. Gougahan is a good friend of the channel, good friend of the community. Say good morning to Mr. John Gougahan. Good morning. I was running late. Thanks for waiting to start the live until I arrived. You are so very welcome. I was waiting just for you. Somebody reach out to Danny because we need Danny here. I keep forgetting to reach out to Danny. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to text Danny because Danny is not here. I'm just texting Danny here. I say, live has started and we miss you. So we'll see if he joins us. Sometimes people come in, there's people that come in and watch and they never ever comment. So if you come in, please just say hello because I miss you. We'll see what I can do because Jerry says, but we want you on Monday too. I'm going to need you guys to start giving me suggestions on what to talk about if you need me on Mondays as well. So we'll figure this out. Maybe I could do a Monday live, a Tuesday live. We'll see what happens. The more live I go, the more watch hours I get. I did get a notification today. I got a notification today from YouTube that says I have reached in my YouTube career 25,000 watch hours. How is that? 25,000 watch hours. Let me see if I can get in here real quick. I need to check out something. 25,000 watch hours. There you go, folks. There you go. Yes, Evelyn. Uncle Big Guy. That's my buddy right there. That's my buddy, Uncle Big Guy. Howdy, y'all. Good morning, Dustin. Good morning, Arden. I'm truly appreciative that you are here. I saw you the other day in one of the live, and I was like, my buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Dustin's time is at a premium. Oh, if only you guys truly knew, you would be like, what's wrong with him? Um, so Andy says, I hope you caught it yesterday. Susan called you Justin. She gets confused sometimes since our bearded son in law's name is Justin. She's goofy sometimes. I love you. I love you guys too, and I don't care. So I've been called ma'am. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. I mean, Eva Lynn keeps trying to make Dusty a thing, and that's not a thing. I don't really care for that, but I don't care. My mom used to call me by my brother's name. I don't really care what you call me. Just, hang out. That's what I'm here for. People have a so the other day, like I was at the post office, okay, and it was just me, and it was an older lady with short gray hair, and myself, and then the lady working the counter at the post office, and the lady looks at me, kind of smiles and kind of waves at me because I'm in there every day. And then as she's looking at me, and then as the lady was leaving in front of me, she said something like, well, thank you, sir, or whatever. And the lady's like, did you just call me sir? And got like really irate. And the lady's like mortified in the face. And she's like, I'm so sorry. And then like the lady just like was mad and left. And then, and I mean, I get it. We don't want to be called things that we aren't. But at the same time, we have to remember that we all say things that come out of our brain holes. We all do things that we don't mean to do. Have you ever looked for your glasses while you're wearing your glasses? Have you ever been looking for your cell phone using the light from your cell phone? These are all things that we do. And I think that, we get so bent out of shape when somebody says something, but we have to remember that we all do the same stuff. We're all really, really similar when it comes to who we are as people. I remember one day I was walking into service merchandise with my mother. I had a goatee, I had long hair. Ladies like, "How are you ladies doing today?" And I thought it was hilarious. I worked in customer service for many years, and I'd talk on the phone, and I have a deep voice, right? And it would like, "Oh, thank you, ma'am." Okay, who cares? Like I think we've gotten to a point where everybody gets so bent out of shape when people make a mistake, and 99.99% it's just like a brain fart. It's a brain thing. It's like I felt bad for the lady that got called sir for sure, but I also felt bad for the lady who said it because you could see in her face she didn't mean to say it because as the lady walked away angry, she looked at me, she goes, "I was looking at you," and then said bye to her. So like Freudian slip is a thing. But anyway, that's why I don't care. I'll never get mad because, you can call me by my brother's name. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care because we all make mistakes. We're all human. So, give each other grace. Rick says Gordon Foods ground beef is back at 2.99 a pound. It's shopping time. Oh yeah. Jerry says if you know, you know. I did at a medical examiner and specialized in contractual details. I pick up on things easily. Well, I appreciate that. Details matter. Yes, hit the like button. I figured that she was. There's no reason for her not to be. It's Sunday. It's kind of still probably dark out. It's dark outside. Let's say it again. It's worth saying again. Let's hit the like button, folks. Rick says 7:30 is not early. I think it is. I beg to differ. Jerry says I am liker number 10. Okay, so so Rick says my cat loves the trash can. He scatters papers everywhere. Okay, okay. All right. Well, Becky, consider yourself lucky. No cats, no dogs, just allergic. Okay. And Jerry says I've been up with the cootie cold since 4 a.m. Ugh. Oh, that's rough. And Rick says I have a trash can in the kitchen, but it rarely gets used. I just put our trash can from the kitchen into the garage. I'm tired of him jumping in and out of it. It's irritating because I hear him rummaging in there and I don't like it. Jay is in the house. Good day, Dustin. And chat. Hope you're doing great. I am fantastic. Thank you, Jay, for being here. I truly appreciate you so very much. From the land down under. I'm sure that'll never get old. Stacy says we made the trip 40 miles south to buy 25 or 75.25 fresh burger for 2.99, boneless ribeye steaks 6.99. Ended up spending $330 before we left. Yummy, yummy in your tummy. That is fantastic. That's what I like to see. I like to see people finding deals. That's what I love. Jay says, can confirm. Cooked and chilled bacon pieces as a snack are delicious. I will confirm that that is the case as well. Yes. Jeff says, do any of you use saffron for sleep? I have never heard that. I do not know. If I'm kind of like, I'll use magnesium for sleep. I have a magnesium blend that I use, that I take a pill that I take to make sure that I get plenty of sleep. Christy, meaning wellness is in the house. Hello and good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you so very much. Let's see. Andy's asking Stacy, where did you go? And that we're headed to Dayton to visit the baby, but we'll hit up a few stores along the way. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This right here. Bacon bits are so good. We buy 10 pounds of bacon ends and miscuts for $20. See, be like Stacy. Make good choices. Spend your money wisely. Bacon and beef. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with bacon and beef. And she says that it's a place in Lima called Stites. Okay. And Andy's like, take a little trip to see. And Evelyn is on board. Adulting is hard. It's hard. They lied to us. They lied to us. We thought we were going to be able to do whatever we wanted, but we are contractually obligated to do all of the dumb things. And Sean, look at this, Sean. $10 super chat, Dustin. This is your performance review and raise for YouTube this year. Good job. Keep up the great work. I love it. Sean, you are the best. Fantastic. Look at Sean. Sean is the man among men. Jay said, Stacy, that took some converting to Australian dollars. That's a great price. Need to ask my butcher if they do miscuts. Yeah. Mm. Oh, that sounds good. I remember Trader Joe's used to sell their like ends and pieces and such. And I think Walmart had it for a while, but I haven't seen them there for a while. And I don't make it to Trader Joe's very often because it's not close. And it's not on the way anywhere. Like you have to like go there like intentionally. Kind of like you have to be intentional about it, right? And that's not exactly what I'm talking about, like living intentionally, but like I see so many people kind of talking about living intentionally. I see so many people, you see people out and about and they're just kind of like there. They're at the grocery store, they're doing what they need to do, they're making their way through life, but like you could just kind of see in their face that like they're just not living intentionally. And I know that sounds rude, but I know you know what I mean. Like everything, I think we should all be prioritizing things and doing everything intentionally. Like when I go shopping to buy specific things that I need. I know what I need. I know what I need to get through the week. I'm going intentionally to do things. And like how we treat people. We need to treat people intentionally. Like we need to go and live life where we treat people well. And I know we say that we do and we treat others as we want to be treated, but I think we don't. I think, there's just so much of that. Some of us, a lot of the humans in this world don't actually live intentionally. And it's difficult for me to explain. It's more of like a mindset. Like, you get up and you're like, I've got this to accomplish today, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to be kind, and I know I have these things to accomplish, and I want to help people if I can, and I want to do these things. I don't know if it's coming across right, but let's see here. And Jay said, "Oh yeah, converted. We saw that." And Booby Goat says, "The Sandlot is one of my all-time favorite movies. I quote that movie more times throughout the week, I think, a lot. I quote a lot of movies, but like as if you were thinking, you wouldn't have thought that. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it is. I need to go back and rewatch it. It's been a while since I've watched that movie. I just went back and I went back and I rewatched Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's one of those movies that I can watch all the time. I just love that movie. Um, and then I started watching Knocked Up last night because I hadn't seen that in a while. There's just there's like a certain period of movie that's like kind of like ingrained, and like you kind of forget about them. Throw a comment in here and tell me what movie, if you catch it on, no matter where it is in the movie, you'll watch it, or a movie that you can watch over and over again and never get tired of it. I have like a nice list of movies like that, like Shawshank Redemption, The Fifth Element, um, Hitch. There's all these movies that I just love. So let me know in the comments. And Jay says he's looking for cheapish dehydrators online for that and beef jerky. Uh, I know. I think Joe and Rachel they have. If you know, Two Crazy Ketos, I think they have a dehydrator that they like. The same thing with Chris Cook in Nashville. They have dehydrators, and I think they may even have maybe some discount codes or something like that. If you're looking on Amazon, I don't know if that is something that if Australia has Amazon, I don't honestly know. That's just pure ignorance on my behalf. I do have an Amazon link in my keto simple shop. You can click on that link, and anything you buy from Amazon, I get a kickback. It's nothing different to you. So I mean, anytime you're shopping on Amazon, try to use that link. I mean, literally make pennies. Like I think right now, like for the year, I'm like at like 4 cents. So I mean, it really doesn't do me a whole lot of good, but every little bit helps, right? Booby says, I got burnt out from doing lives every morning for a week and making movies. Yeah, yeah. Like it can be difficult, doing, like keeping up. I think if you set yourself goals that are stringent and you've got family obligations and you've got all these things, these are things that are hard to keep up with. And I mean, realistically, lives are kind of easy for me because I can do the Sunday morning live because I'm going to be awake and I want to talk to you guys and I want to share my thoughts for the week with you. So this to me is almost like therapy, confession. There's a whole lot of things all wrapped up in Sunday morning coffee because I get a chance to hang out with you guys, talk with you guys, see what you guys are up to. You guys can share your progress, your failures, your everything, your successes, and I can just kind of just talk and shoot the breeze with you guys for as long as I want, really. Because it doesn't really matter how long we talk. I can go 4 hours if I want to. I think with this plan, I can go six with this streaming service that I'm using right now. I'm really enjoying this streaming service. I think I've got it dialed in where I like it. It looks nice, but Sybil V, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not sure if I've seen you here before. If I'm mistaken, let me know. But truly appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much. Evelyn says, I've been watching your recipe videos almost through the 92 videos. You have a lot of good recipes. Well, thank you, Evelyn. I truly appreciate that. That was one of the things that I first really started doing the channel was what I wanted, that was an easy thing to do. Well, easy because I was cooking these things and I'm like, well, let me just make a video. Let me make a video. And then I kind of started to run out of ideas. I've got a couple of videos that I've never even edited before. Maybe I'll get to those one of these days. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And Rick says his cat is totally wild now, causing all kinds of mischief. Mischief managed. Julie in the Pine says, good morning. I'm here watching and dozing. You're the best. I watch like lives on the weekends and I'm kind of dozing off here and there. I mean, it's nice. I probably have one of those. I have a voice to fall asleep to. Just ask Chandra. I was talking to her last night and she just started dozing off. It's fine. It's okay. Not just Dusty, but Dusty Buns. I won't call you that if you don't like it. Well, Christy says, Rick, mine just got done being wild. Now she is sleeping. We have another cat. We have a new cat. We have a new cat, and well, it's our granddaughter's cat, so it's new to us, but it's not a new cat. But she's trying to navigate her life in the house and trying to get them acclimated together so they don't fight. You know, Sean says the other day I was looking in my contact container for my contacts that I just put in 1 minute ago. That's the thing. That's us. That's what we do. Mike from Tampa Bay United Carnivore. Good morning. Look at Cindy. Good morning, Cindy. We love you, Cindy. I feel like I haven't seen you enough this week. I feel like you've been missing from my life this week, Cindy. Carnivore K is here. Good morning. People saying hello to each other. The guinea pig. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, everybody's favorite guinea pig. People saying hello. Hello. Jerry says, if I go back to bed to listen, will you talk about me? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Brian Doyle says, 1 hour on the treadmill listening this morning. That is amazing. I need to get me I need to get a treadmill or just go outside and walk. I need it. Now, this is some pioneer stuff. Castor oil on a cotton ball inserted into your navel before bed works to put me to sleep. That's that's like some Oregon Trail, like hope I don't get dysentery, like I don't even know, like whoo. I don't even know. That's some that's some Little House on the Prairie stuff, I think. I don't even know. Like I have never heard that in my life. But I appreciate that because I don't even know. You may be the only person I know right now, Jerry, that actually has castor oil in their house. Maybe Stacy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Am I totally off base here? How many of you guys have castor oil in the house? I have no idea. I have no idea. Sybil says, I have a rack of beef ribs. How should I cook them? I have an air fryer. I have never cooked beef ribs. So I am going to default that question to Chris Cooking Nashville. I don't know if he has a beef rib recipe or beef rib video. He has a lot of videos, but it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't have a beef rib video. But I have never ever cooked beef ribs, so I am not going to give you any advice. Let's see. Stater Brothers, based in California, sells their bacon ends and pieces. They are $2.99 a pound, but go on sale for $1.99 sometimes. That's what I'm talking about. Love it, love it, love it. Grumpy Old Men, says Sybil. That's a movie that they love. Grumpy Old Men. I love it. Just pull your bottom lip over your head and swallow. Yes. Twister for Milady. Andy, you like Twister? I remember I haven't watched that movie in a while, but I know I keep getting the ads for Twisters, which is the same movie with different people and two tornadoes. So yeah. G Man is in the house. Thank you. Thank you for being here, G Man. Forrest Gump. That is a great movie. And I saw a short the other day with a person talking about watching that movie for the first time. I think it's the guy that's like was on Chuck. He played Chuck. He's also like Shazam or whatever that superhero movie was. And he was like seeing that movie for the first time, and you see like when Forrest shows up to Jenny's house, and he sees that he has a son, and like he's just his name's Forrest. I named him after his daddy. And you see the realization in his eyes that that's my kid, and then he's like, but is he like me? And you have like that realization that Forrest has known who he is and what he is the entirety of the movie, but he's been somebody who hasn't pointed it out. He hasn't let it bother him. He hasn't fought people for the things they've said about him. And I mean, it's a truly emotional scene in the movie if you truly look at it in that perspective. So yeah, that's one of those things. Moving Violations? I don't know if I've ever seen that movie, Rick. Groundhog Day. I haven't seen that movie in so very long, but I know my friend Nick, who I do Toxic Tuesdays with, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. He lives in the town where that was recorded in Illinois. So, if that's an interesting fact for you today, let's see. Evelyn says to Booby Goats, we just saw the musical Hello Dolly at our local high school. They did a great job. Well, that's fantastic. Jay says, we have Amazon, but limited products compared to the US. Well, I'd imagine that makes pretty much sense. Yeah. Stacy says, Pretty Woman. That's a movie we just watched not too long ago. Shannon and I watched it. It's such a great movie. It was not meant to be a comedy at first. When they started putting the movie together, it wasn't going to be a comedy. It was going to be a serious movie. But I'm glad they made it like a rom com style movie. I think it still holds up today. And Jerry says, for me, living intentional is 100% based on my relationship with Jesus, but I can be righteously indignant and tables may or may not have been turned. Yeah. Like for me, I just feel like I need to be the best me that I can be. I need to always be working on how understanding I am, how helpful I am. Like, and I try to be intentional with how I treat people. Like I reached out and and so not everybody is on social media the same way. So we run across different people and we run across people in our lives, different times in our lives, different eras of our lives, so to speak. And we run in different circles. And even with me today, we have different circles. I have, this community and I have, other different people, like, people that I knew from high school, people that I knew from, the band days and all the different things. And they all kind of coalesce. And everybody kind of is in a different spot. So every time I meet somebody and I get to know them and I put in effort to get to know them, and if they are a person worth my time, sometimes you run across people who just are not. It's unfortunate, but I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet and you can't know them all. Now, I will do my best to try to keep in touch, at least in some manner, the best that I can. I had reached out to somebody the other day, just how are you doing? And, you know, they were like, they're a person that I met in this community. They were trying to make a splash in this community, and then things happened and things went south, and they not necessarily aren't in the community anymore, but they just aren't. But I still reach out to see how they're doing, and they said something to me like, you're the only person from the community that reaches out and says hello, checks on us. And I'm like, well, I mean, I put the effort in to get to know you, and you're a friend. And I may not be able to keep in touch with everybody. I may not be able to watch everybody's lives, watch everybody's videos. I don't I can't message everybody every day or email or see every post on Facebook or Twitter or all the things that are out there. But I think for me, living intentionally is the fact that I do try and make an effort to reach out and keep in touch with people. Like, yesterday we went out to lunch with people that I haven't worked with since 2019, because people in my life, once I make a connection, they matter to me for as long as they're in my life. I think about people that I knew years ago. I think about old teachers. I think about, people that were in my life forever. There's been people in my life that I wish I could be in touch with now. There's people that I will occasionally look up and see if I can find them, see how they're doing, but I can't find them. And, because people just are not on social media sometimes. There's people from high school, that I was friends with that, I want how are they doing? We had a connection. I want to know how they're doing. There's people that I grew up with in my old neighborhood when I was a kid, and we were close friends. And then they move away, and then you just don't have contact with them more. But how are they doing? And you can't find them. It doesn't mean I don't try from time to time. That's to me like living intentionally. Whether it's keeping up with people that you care about, how you carry yourself, what kind of person are you? What kind of person are you when nobody's looking? I think that's living intentionally as well. Like, if the people from your church aren't there looking, and the people that you know aren't looking, and you're just in a place by yourself around people you don't know, what kind of person are you? Who are you when no one is watching? That's kind of what I want to talk. That's kind of that's what I guess that's the best way I can put that right now, because we want to make sure we're touching base with our friends. We want to make sure that we are doing right by society. We want to make sure that we're doing right by strangers. I think oftentimes we just kind of get caught up in our own side of things, and we just let hatred fill our hearts for people we don't even know. And I see it all the time, especially on social media. It's so easy these days just to let that in, and that's like a poison. It's like a cancer. You can't let that malignant thought process into your heart. You just really can't. Because I mean, it is very easy to do. Somebody says something that you don't like, that you don't agree with, and then you hate that person, but you don't even know that person. But I can almost guarantee you that if you were standing next to them in the grocery store line, you probably wouldn't hate them. You may even strike up a conversation. You may have something in common. That's where I look at things now. We're so divided that, I mean, realistically, when you go out in public, it's not the same as online. Online, everything seems like the sky is falling, everything's falling apart. Everything, the news cycle, everything we're hearing, all the news stories, everything's falling apart. The world is coming to an end. But you go to a playground where there's kids playing and everything seems right with the world. You can have a strike up a conversation with somebody, and things aren't as dire as I think they may seem. Maybe they are, but I think we have to live intentionally. We have to decide for ourselves, how are we going to navigate in a world like we live in? And I refuse to live in fear. I refuse to let things going on destroy who I am, because no matter what happens in the world, I still am me. I still have control over what kind of person I am. And I refuse to treat people poorly no matter what. No matter how vehemently I disagree with them on their stances with things, because we all have different perspectives. We all have different life experiences. But, you know, anyway, a little too deep, right? Booby Goat says, I'm Wally. I love Wally. Everybody in my house hates it. The kids hate it. Shander hates it. Everybody hates it. They think it's a terrible movie. I think it's a glorious, wonderful movie. But I'm alone in the house with that. And that's okay. Rick says, YouTube is the time I donate. It pays me nothing. That is why I refuse to spend money on it. Well, I think the way you're doing lives, you're going to get your watch hours up. Become monetized because you have enough subscribers. Once you start getting your lives up and you start grabbing those watch hours, you will find that you have enough time and watch hours. You can monetize your channel, and then people can give you super chats, and then you can start making a little bit of money, putting towards things and reinvesting, and then you may want to put more effort into it. It's a snowball effect. Mr. Gugahan says, I just bought a Corsair air fryer, or a Kasori air fryer toaster oven. It has a dehydrator function. I'm excited about trying it and making some meat chips. Well, I can't wait to hear how it works out for you. If anybody knows of any videos or any way, anything out there that is for Sybil for recommendations on how to cook a rack of beef ribs, because I have zero experience cooking beef ribs, so so keep that in mind. So if anybody, if any of my wonderful moderators out there want to put something like that in, that would be fantastic. Because I'm not quite sure if Chris has one like that. I'm sure he and Ash and Mel will be here soon enough, and I imagine that they will be able to let us know whether they do. Or Chris, when he gets into the chat, will probably be able to provide some insight to that. If he has, I'm sure he does, because he's a mad scientist. And Rick says, my cooking videos freak people out. Not just your cooking videos, Rick. I kid, I kid. Jerry says, true. Just being on YouTube, liking, commenting really does help creators. Yeah. Sean says, action, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Last Action Hero, Bulletproof Comedy, The Proposal, Waiting, and all the vacations. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Last Action Hero is a great movie. Oh, I saw that in movie theaters twice when I was younger, when it came out. Eva Lynn says Dusty Buns is a Stranger Thing. So actually, a friend of mine, her mother used to call me Dusty Buns years ago. We're talking like 2009, so it's not quite new, but it's a very we'll talk about it. Stacy says we have two Presto dehydrator pros and a I can't pronounce that. Sorry is a step up as you can adjust temp and set timer. Today is egg whites being dehydrated in it, and the others will be bacon and garlic. Oh, garlic. The dehydrated garlic and the dehydrated peppers. Oh my goodness. Oh, Stacy, Stacy, Stacy. Cindy. She said, that's your fault. I have been here live both Wednesday and Friday in Andy's yesterday. I saw you in Andy's yesterday. I was there Friday. Wednesday, we went to the comedy club, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a life too, Cindy. Rick is fixing his bike. Andy says that she has cod liver oil in her house. That's weird. Jeffifa has castor oil. Uncle Big Guy has castor oil. Okay. Stacy says, on the Life Pro vibration plate, hard to type when shaking. Hmm. Interesting. Rebecca is here. Good morning. Rebecca says, hi, Dustin. Hello, Rebecca. Thank you for being here. Sean says, I always think of Tom and Jerry cartoons where the little girl has Tom dressed up like a baby. She threatens him with castor oil if he doesn't stop misbehaving. Yeah, because that's going to make him poop himself. That's what castor oil does. At least that's what I think, right? You're like, oh, yeah. Woo. It tastes bad, too, I'm sure. Yeah, and Spike, where they're trying to divvy up the steak and they start fighting. Jerry says, castor oil on my lashes last night, too. My lashes for a 60-year-old's like Bambi's. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, Zachary Levi. Yeah. Doom, 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 doom. Short skirt and a long jacket. I don't know why this is funny to me. The vibration plate. Oh, let's see. We watched Fried Green Tomatoes last night. That's another awesome movie. Yes, indeed it is. I've only seen it once, I believe, that and like Steel Magnolias and all that. Yeah. I think Shander tried to get me to watch one of those because she wanted me to cry. I don't know. You know what I mean? Breakfast Club. So here's a question. Breakfast Club, there's a fan theory about Breakfast Club that it's really the all in the one girl's imagination. The weird girl, I can't think of her name at the top of my head, but, like, the whole thing was all in her imagination, and then, like yeah, so it was, like, just kind of like one of those yeah, I don't know. Discuss. Let's see. Jerry says, I've heard The Chosen will be coming to theaters recently. Started watching the series and love it. I've never watched it. I kind of have an idea what it is, but I know that I thought they were putting episodes in theaters anyway. I thought certain theaters were showing episodes of it. I think our local theater was showing episodes of it. Um, but yeah, um, and I think there was somebody that does the somehow I was connected somehow with the guy directing it. Somehow that knew who somebody was, I don't remember. It was something. I can't remember what it was, but I was telling James about it. James from RSK from Ready Set Keto. Mr. Gugahan is off to church. Thank you so much for being here. You're probably already gone. I appreciate you so very much. Be safe. Cindy says, one of the best movies Brian and I went to see, rare, we watch movies even at home, was RV with Robin Williams. I know I saw that years and years and years ago, but I don't remember it all that much. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you. Thank you, Rebecca. Let's all hit the like button. Yes, yes, indeed. Share this out with your friends, your families, your enemies. Jerry says, it's easier for me to pick up with people I've had friendships with, and it seems like yesterday. Yeah, really, it really does. Barbara Castor is here. Speaking of castor oil, Barbara Castor is here. She invented castor oil, so everybody thank her for that. I'm just teasing. It was her grandpa. Anyway, all right. Karen Harrington is in the house. Thank you for being here. She says, "Good morning, Sunday coffee people." She said just like that, people. That's exactly how she said it. I heard it. I heard it here, folks. Let's see. People saying hello to more people. Rebecca said, off topic of being intentional. Do you guys drink one electrolyte daily, more than one every other day? I think it's realistically so for me, once you kind of figure out what or how you feel best, so like once you kind of get come to terms with what you feel like fully hydrated, once you know what fully hydrated feels like, where you have enough electrolytes and you feel good and you feel all right, then you kind of use that feeling to judge. Like if you are working outside and it's hot and you're sweating a lot, you may need two or three. But if it's, if it's kind of like, just a normal day and you've been just lounging around the house, you may not even need any. But it's just really how do you feel? Realistically, if you drink coffee like I do, if you drink this much coffee, you probably should have an electrolyte beverage about 45 minutes before you have your coffee. Now, do I do that? Not often because it's difficult. Because it's like I'm not always up early enough to do that before I have my coffee. Sundays is one thing, it's different. But the average day I get up and I'm having my coffee like right away. So it's just really kind of figure out what's overhydrated, what's a good hydration level for you, and what's dehydration feels like to you. And then you kind of go based on your daily activity, how you feel. I think that's the best way to judge that. I think we're all going to be a little different. Some people drink them every day. Some people only drink electrolytes throughout the day. There's been days where I've had 4 or 5, and there's been some spans where I go 2 or 3 days without some. It really just depends on how I feel. Cindy says, at some point the world will end. But those not living life one day at a time, moment by moment, are missing out on life today. That's right. The world, I mean, the earth is going to end, whatever. I mean, it's just kind of in the cards millions of years from now, whatever the case is. I think that even in history, we've seen worse. We're going to see, maybe we may see worse, may get better. We don't know. But we have to work to, but I know if we don't work together and we don't try to solve our problems and we just yell and scream at each other from across the aisle, we're never going to fix anything. It's only going to get worse if we can't have simple conversations with each other, living intentionally. Sean says, in the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln, be excellent to one another and party on, dudes. Yes, 1000%. Cindy says, I drink one weekly, if that, because she doesn't drink coffee and she's a pod person. So she might even be a lizard. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Karen says, my coffee's become colored water. I don't understand people. Jeff says, if you're lucky, if you're happy with your own thoughts, life gets better. Keto makes that easier for me. 1000%. Stacy says, I do 2 salty a day. I did one yesterday and had to jump up from bed with muscle cramps last night. So again, it's going to realistically depend. Some people may have one a week. Some people have to drink 2 or 3 a day. Just depends on how you are. Brian is halfway. I don't know to where. Somewhere. Sunny is here. She says, good morning, Dustin. Good morning, Sunny. So glad you are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Hmm. Sean says you cook them just like you do pork ribs. Did Jesus flip tables? Was he like, you know what? Oh, I don't know if he was like that or not, but maybe he was. I don't know. Carolyn Ketchum. All day I dream about food. Movie Goats. Thank you for being here. She says, have a great day, everyone. Time to feed the chickens. Well, have a great day. Thank you so very much. Truly appreciate you. Rick's bike is a total disaster. I need to look through the trash piles for parts. Oh my goodness. Karen from Low Carb Spin is here. She says, good morning, all. Just wanted to jump on and let everyone know that I just saw on the news that the brand Chomp Meat Sticks announced a recall. Check your packages. Oh, chomp, 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 chomp. Karen says, I used castor oil to remove a nasty mole on my neck. Sometimes I hate it for years. Oh my goodness. I used to have well, you can't tell, but I had a mole like right here. Like I still just know where it was. And it was like, like a mole skin tag type thing. And it was a dangly one and it was brown and like it was just there and there. And then one day I looked down and it was like dangly, but like big and full of blood. I was like, oh, that's weird. So I had it removed. Finally. I had a lot of my skin tags removed right around the time I went keto. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Andy says, really, Karen? I've got a mole on my neck I really want gone. I mean, you can also tie string around it. It'll fall off. Let's see. Sean says, I drink 2 or 3 a day. Sherry on a low carb journey. Good morning, keto family. Well, thank you, Sherry, for being here, and good morning to you. Oh, look at this. Look, look, look. Sunny gifted a Keto Simple membership. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Michelle was the recipient of said membership. Fantastic. I love to see it. Cindy said the other day, both of my thighs cramped up while relaxing watching TV. Grabbed a pack of salty and used part of it like a pixie stick. Oh, how was that? Cramps went away immediately. Immediately. Oh my goodness, that's pretty awesome. Am I caught up with the chat? Are you serious right now? What? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So some other things that I want to talk about. Um, Wednesday night we went to the comedy club, and as you know, anytime like comedy clubs and places like that, they have like a two drink, two item minimum, whatever per person or whatever the case is, right? So they basically you want to have a drink, appetizer, or something like that. In these places, they don't really have you know keto friendly options. So I mean, you're kind of left with a diet soda at best, some kind of alcoholic drink, fried, battered food at worst, right? And so like we had decided, we were gonna have an appetizer, get a drink or two, and that kind of stuff, right? And we sat there. There were four comedians. I mean, there was like the MC, the local guy that was there that comes out, talks to you, and he kind of comes out in between each comedian. And then we had after him, then Heath Cordes came out, and then Martin Phillips, and then we had our friend um, Aaron Belial. So if you guys are familiar with comedy, say if any of you have ever watched America's Got Talent, Aaron has been on America's Got Talent a couple seasons ago. He was the mute comedian with cerebral palsy type kind of condition or whatever, and he would talk with his phone through a speaker and all of that, and he's hilarious. He's a lot of fun, and talk to them. And but they never came to take our order. We didn't get waters. We didn't get anything. So, two drink minimum be damned, I guess, and two whatever item minimum, whatever. So I went to the grocery store, and then Thursday night I went to the grocery store, and I had this feeling that I felt like I had been gypped, right? I felt like I had just been let down, like I had my hopes up for like we were gonna get some French fries, you know what I mean? They had, they had crinkle fries, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Okay." And so, I mean, I know it's food, and I know that we shouldn't have things like that in our mind, but like, it was just a thing. And went to the store, and like, so we ended up getting a couple of things we shouldn't have gotten. But I was just like, like these weird triggers that kind of come and go, like there's stress triggers. I didn't know there was anticipate like had anticipated to have something we should have had. And we didn't get it because they didn't take our order. And we're like sitting right in the middle of the showroom. Like there's people getting food and drinks all around us. They never once stopped to ask us if we wanted anything, which is the complete weirdest thing and kind of funny, I guess. But and we ended up being there like an hour after the show, talking with the different comedians and there's photos and had a good time. And as everybody knows, I can talk. Um, but so when I'm at the grocery store, that was just kind of what happened. And I've been thinking about that, and I don't know how anybody else handles that. And I know what I should have done. Hindsight's always 2020. I should have just bought what I needed to go get and go. Simple as that. But that's not how life goes sometimes, you know? So, it's just one of those things that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Like I said, this is kind of part confession almost, like we get together, it's fun, we talk, there's joy, I mean, I feel like this is, like that kind of thing for me. So, yeah. And Cindy says, "Nice to know, Jerry. I always have that with me as well as some packets of saltier element." Let's see. Sherry drinks two or so a day. Karen says, um, that she keeps Redmond salt rocks in her car. Sean Bradley says my son started work at the plant that where he works. He just started keto and they were feeding him the past week. I told him not to worry about keto the past week. He can get back on track when they are done. Yeah, I mean that's just very, like when you get a new job and they take you out to dinner or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's just a thing that happens. It's difficult sometimes. Risa's Cluttered Kitchen is here. Good morning, y'all. Well, good morning, Risa. Thank you. Thank you so very much for being here. I love it. Sherry says, Jim and I met on a blind date and went to a comedy club, saw Chainsaw Mike. He was hilarious. We're still laughing together 24 years later. Well, that's amazing. I love that. We've been in the comedy club a few times. We've seen Aaron Bilal before. We went and saw him last year or so. And then we've seen David Lucas, we've seen Cam Patterson, David Jolly. We've seen Martin and Heath, all these Kill Tony comedians. If you like raunchy comedy, Kill Tony is for you. It's a weekly YouTube show. Well, basically they film it at a comedy club and they put it up on YouTube like 3 weeks later. So like this Monday, they'll record one and then it'll be up in 3 weeks. And actually, there's going to be 3 episodes coming out on Netflix in the near future. I think sometime in April, the first one drops. I was talking with Martin, and he thinks he may be in the first one. So that's cool to see people that people that are make you laugh, and they see them being successful and growing in their careers, and and something like Netflix picking that up and showing because these episodes of Kill Tony get millions of views, so it's pretty amazing. Uncle Big Guy says John Wayne, the cowboy, the scene where the boys were taking castor oil after drinking. Ugh. Sean says the first date was Shell, and I went on to see the movie Throw Mama from a Train. Oh, I remember like then it was like he had the idea he was gonna poison the Pepsi, then he knocked it out of his hand. I just remember seeing it, but I don't remember. You know what I mean? Like I remember it, but I don't. Everybody saying hello to each other 30 seconds ago. Okay. Caleb's Carnivore Quest is in the house. Morning, y'all. Well, morning, Caleb. Thank you for being here. How are you doing, my friend? How is everything going? Risa says, to answer the electrolyte question, I drink half an electrolyte when I get up in the morning, and I drink the whole drink as another whole drink at work during my work shift, take magnesium before bed. Yeah, I mean, I will drink sometimes. I'll make up a blender bottle of electrolytes and drink some, put it back in the fridge, and then I try to remember to take my magnesium. I don't always remember. You know how it goes. Well, that's fantastic, Caleb. How's the channel going? I haven't looked in a while. Let's see where you are with your how you're doing with your 416 subscribers. Fantastic, my friend. Look at that. 416 subscribers, 16 videos. You're almost to 500. You get to 3,000 watch hours. You can start being partially monetized. You can start doing super chats and all that things, memberships, all those fun things. Allergies are hitting hard, huh? Because I found when I went keto, my allergies went away. But then again, I haven't never really moved away from Indiana, so there's that. That's interesting. That's interesting to know. Risa said that they went on the first date to see Throw Mama from the Train as well 35 years ago. That's crazy. Lewis Stone is in the house. Good morning, everyone. Fantastic. Thank you for being here, Lewis. I appreciate you very much. Caleb said, new state, new allergies. Woo! Fantastic. Thank you, Cindy, for sharing Caleb's channel. Let's get Caleb to 500 subscribers. He's at 416. We can get there. We can get there, y'all. If you're watching over on YouTube, or if you're watching over on Twitter, and you want to follow a young and uprising kid here, uprising, that's not what I meant to say. A young kid, Caleb is amazing. He's 16, going on 17. He's got a jump start on all of us old timers starting here. Yes, I appreciate you. People saying good morning. Oh, you can't get monetized until you're 18? That's rude. Have your mom sign up and be your mom's account and then get monetized and then just have her give you the money. I don't know. Why not? If Shell had known how much of a movie nut I am, she might have had second thoughts. Now she just gives me the eye roll whenever I start quoting movies. She's stuck with me. Yeah, that's how Chandra is. You know what I mean? Jay is already subbed. Fantastic. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that very much. Sherry just subscribed. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a weird thing. Like, I mean, I guess, but I mean, you can get a job at 16. Why can't you be monetized on YouTube at 16? That's crazy. That's weird. But I mean, allegedly there's probably a workaround, but we don't want to get anybody in trouble. We don't want to get his channel banned or anything like that either. So, you know. And Caleb says, I have a job. Good. Fantastic. And Risa says, I make electrolytes once every 2 days. I make 2 bottles, 2 flavors. I find they make me feel less groggy in the AM when cramping at night. Yeah. Yeah, Jay says, I'm interested to see your journey. I'm excited to see what Caleb was able to accomplish because I think that Caleb has a leg up on a lot of us because even though we have a lot of experience, a lot of the people that are in this community tend to be usually 30s and above. It's not often that we see somebody young like Caleb coming in who's 16. There's not a lot of fresh blood in here. And I think someone like Caleb has the potential to reach and kind of influence the younger generations. Whereas someone like myself and people that are older, we tend to attract more like people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and on. And I think that, whether or not we get people who are younger to watch our content or whatever, I don't think they're necessarily as involved in the community. I think if we can get, if someone like Caleb has a foothold in the community, I think they have a better chance of not only attracting or bringing in the younger people who may need this to get started before things actually happen to them. If you can get people starting on carnivore, keto, whatever the case is, long before they need it, it's going to be better. And I mean, that's how we move forward. I think, with a lot of times, like channels like mine, we're involved with people who are playing catch up. We're playing with people. We're involved with people who are already diabetic. They're already overweight. They're already inflamed. They're already sick. They're already on medications. And we're trying to backtrack all of that. And I think someone like Caleb can kind of come in and have an impact on the people who haven't got there yet. Maybe they do, maybe they are, overweight, but they haven't had all the complications that come with being overweight in your 30s, 40s, 50s. Because being overweight at 16 is much different than being overweight in your 40s, 50s. I was overweight in middle school, high school, my whole life. If I would have known and had somebody that I could look up to, somebody that I could see doing what was possible, by eating meat and that type of thing, I think it would have been a lot easier for me. But I grew into somebody with food addiction issues. I grew into somebody that the idea of eating less carbohydrates was a non-starter for me. There was no way I was giving up bread. There was no way I was giving up pasta because I love to eat. I lived to eat. Instead of eating to live, I lived to eat. And I think had I had an opportunity or someone to, someone like Caleb in the early days when I was 16, 17 years old, I think it would have been a lot better for me. But at the same time, I wonder, would I have even been looking for that? I never looked up how do you lose weight when I was 16, 17 years old. And I had the internet. I was on the internet all day. I was in chat rooms, wasn't looking up how to lose weight. So maybe, maybe someone like Caleb could turn the tides and kind of start to catch all that stuff before, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A legitimate workaround. Yeah. Hopefully we can find one of those. Yeah, Caleb works for his dad. Karen at Low Carb Spin is subscribed to you. Look at that, everybody. Let's see. Where are we now? 419. We are up. All right. You guys make retro video game cases. Oh, we make and sell retro video game cases. Oh, that's amazing. I think we've looked that up before, haven't we? I think we did. I'm not calling you guys old. I'm just saying we're not 16, okay? 30s and above, we're not young. We're not spring chickens. We may not necessarily be old, but we're here because we were already overweight. We had issues, inflammation, diabetes. We're here trying to fix an issue instead of trying to prevent an issue. So take that as you will. Barbara's like, I'm not old. Get off my lawn. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. And Sean says the thing about Caleb is that he can show people that carnivore is healthier than the doctors say. Yes. So Caleb says only old people try to prove they're not old, and young people just call us old because I can't say anything without to the kids and them old, old. Okay, boomer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at that. Barbara subscribed. Yvonne is the 420 subscriber. Good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you for being here, Yvonne. I truly appreciate you. Brian says, got it now? What to do with the rest of the day? Have some coffee? Watch a movie? I got to watch The Beekeeper sometime today. I've seen it before, and I got to watch it again because we're talking about it on Tuesday. It's not a great movie. I love Jason Statham, but The Beekeeper is not that great. Oh, let's see. Evelyn is sharing Carl's beef rib recipe there, so if you want to click on that. Sonny is subscribed to Caleb. Fantastic, fantastic. Jerry says, been making Quincy Jones ribs for years. Just substitute Redmond's real seasoned salt instead of suggested. Uh, yeah. So yeah, just instead of their seasonings. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Evelyn says, good morning, Yvonne and Cindy for $10. Glorious dollars. Speak for yourself, Dustin. Talking about older in 30s and 40s, I am so much older than you and feel much better than I did 4+ years ago for sure. That I understand. That's what I'm trying to say. We, from 30s on, we have people 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, people even into their 80s, all in this community, and it's fantastic. But we're all here trying to reverse the stuff we got into in 16s and 20s into our 30s, where someone like Caleb, who hasn't had those issues yet, was just overweight, but had not quite gotten to the complication stage, can help kind of get those people, get the young folk, the young kids Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen Alpha into living a healthy lifestyle. Brian is smoking a pork belly. Oh, that sounds delicious. Sean says, we're old until we whip their butts in Call of Duty. Oh, Uncle Big Guy says, I'm an old fart and proud of it. Cindy says, I get it, Dustin. You know what? You know what? I'm watching you, Cindy. I'm keeping an eye on you, causing all this trouble. Hmm. Brian says, baby boomer here. I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X with like 6 months to spare. I was born in June of '79. I'm kind of like in that mid range, like kind of between millennial and like I'm kind of in that no man's zone between Gen X and millennial. So like, because some Gen X didn't transfer over with the technology, like the younger Gen X and the millennials did. But Evelyn's got a question. Have y'all hit the like button? Have you? Have you? Let's see. Let's see. Where are we with the like button here? 32 likes, 81 watching. Come on, folks. 36 of you watching on YouTube, 45 watching over on X. If you're watching over on X, come on over, say hello, let us know what's happening, let us know how you're feeling, let us know what's going on. Jerry subscribed to Caleb, 422 subscribers. Let's go. 422 subscribers. Let's go, Caleb. Let's go. Brian's enjoying retirement and healthier life. Fantastic. I love it. Cindy says, Dustin, you are about to hit the top of the hill, and it's all downhill from there. I'm already downhill. You know what I mean? I'm already at the bottom. I'm already here. You know? Lewis Stone, real boomer here. Lewis Stone says, real boomer here. Oh my goodness. Just smashed it, says Karen. Sherry says, we know you're not picking on older people, but old ladies get cranky and fight back. I'm glad you got to have some fight in you. You got to have some fight in you. You got to be feisty. So Lewis is going to be on Alive with Cindy. Fantastic. 5 more days until our live stream. Will be great. Yeah. Risa, Friday night, I made deconstructed Philly cheesesteak, thin ribeye, clean cheese, sauce, onions, and peppers. Family had it on buns today. Let's see. Today is supposed to be National Philly Cheesesteak Day. I have been getting, and I'll pull this up here. I'm going to show you what I've been buying. I'm going to show you what I've been getting from Walmart because it's delicious and it's relatively affordable. I mean, affordability is relative. You know what I'm saying? But so I've been buying. Let's see. I've been buying this, and I'll show it to you here. So I've been buying these steakums, right? They're like you can get it's like a 24-ounce box, like a double box or whatever. Comes with like 18 steaks or something like that. Steaks. But I've been buying that, and they're like $10. And that $10 feeds both Shander and I. And I just get some onions in there, mix it up real good. Gotta let kind of drain some of the grease off. It's a little greasy, but it's pretty good because we haven't been having a lot of cheese. But it's just good. Like you can take pork and good pork rinds. Like you can take like the white cheddar ones or whatever you want, and just kind of scoop up that stuff. And oh, it's delicious. So delicious. So yummy. It's delicious. Jerry says, I graduated high school in June of 79. You could be my kid. That's true. That's very true. Risa says, I found thin ribeyes at Aldi really cheap, not shave steak, thicker than those, so good. Oh, that sounds good too. Cindy graduated high school in 1976. Well, she was graduating high school on the United States' birthday. Look at that. 1976. That's when she started. Sean says, too young to retire, too poor to stay home, too fat to strip. Guess I'll just go to work tomorrow. Woo! Caleb graduates this year. He's finishing high school this year. That's fantastic. Getting it out of the way early. But you're homeschooled. Am I right, Caleb, or am I off on that? I want to say you're homeschooled. Caleb says, I'm not even done yet. Risa graduated in 78. Sonny graduated the year I started kindergarten, I think. See what I'm saying? Look at this. You know, she said they were a huge hit with the family, but making them again on repeat. Yes. Uncle Big Guy, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I truly appreciate you. He says, have a great day, everybody. I got to go. Karen says, I have my 50th high school reunion this year. Jump and jive, man alive. I'm the class of 75. Yeah, Caleb confirmed that he is homeschooled. Yeah, it's just, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, to you guys, I'm a baby. Caleb hadn't even been born yet. You know what I mean? Hmm. Oh, my goodness. JJ is in the house. He was born in 1975. Look at that. Baby alive, 1975. Look at that. Sherry says, class of 87, big hair, weird clothes. My oldest sister-in-law was class of 87. Shander's oldest sister was class of 87. She is 10 years older than us. I was class of 1998. Should have been 87, 98, 97, but you know what? Things happen, right? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, that's the kind of talking about like the grocery store struggles and such, like going to the grocery store. How often do you go to the grocery store and you're trying to stay on track, you're trying to live intentionally, and you're trying to only buy the things that you need, but you get sidetracked, distracted, end up buying things you don't need? How often does that happen to you? because sometimes it happens to me because I'll be texting the lady and I'm like, "Well, what do we need? What do you want?" She goes, "Well, maybe I want something." And I'm like, "Okay, that sounds good." You know? Oh, let's see. People saying hello to JJ. That is true. Risa says it's great we're all in the same community, doesn't matter when we were born. That's true. Rick was class of 86, born in 68. Look at that. Brian says in 98, I was planning my retirement. OMG. Rick says, I'm the only one who looks like he did in high school. Probably so. Caleb says, I hardly ever go to the grocery store. Rick, I know you don't buy any. You don't even go to the grocery store. You just pick your food up out of the canal. I know you. Cindy is at the grocery store. She says, at the grocery store, I take a list. I stick to it. The only thing that draws me in and fails to keep me are the donuts. I never liked donuts. I mean, and my stuff is always more savory things like pizza rolls or corn dog nuggets or stuff like that. Like the savory foods are what's always kind of attracted me more so than the sweets. Sometimes an apple pie, but that's not as often, you know. Risa says, I work at a supermarket. I am there 5 times a week. I get sidetracked all the time. I was supposed to get bananas last night, crossed it off the list, and never got them. Look at that. See, I'm not the only one. I get home and forget to get things for the girl. Like she likes what they would call daddy's favorite sandwich, which is, and I tried to make her some. I really tried, and she was very good about it. I tried to make her a homemade mayonnaise. I made it, added tried to make it just like Miracle Whip. She was not having it. She did not want it. She did, but she kept trying it. She kept trying it for me. She was such a champ. She is amazing, and I love that girl so much. She kept trying it, but I didn't make something that she liked. So we do give her Miracle Whip, but she gets very little. But she likes a couple slices of Black Forest ham. I give her keto bread. Is that the greatest stuff? No. But if I'm trying to get the girl to eat, now we had this discussion the other day. Shannon and I were discussing this the other day. We are packing her lunch. And we're packing her lunch, and it comes down to she barely eats. And we always overpack her lunch compared to what she's actually going to eat. And I said, if we pack her lunch with what she's actually going to eat, people would call CPS on us. If we gave her the right amount that she's going to eat, it would look like we don't feed her. Because, like, in the morning, we give her breakfast, eggs. She likes hash browns, the little things, some fruit. Right now, we've been giving her nectarines and some chicken nuggets, trying to get her to eat anything. Food is just not a priority for her. So we just try to feed her. We try to give her food that she'll put in her face hole. You know what I mean? Just, daddy's favorite sandwich, whatever. She's 6. So we, like, I'm doing the best I can here. And you don't want to fight with her. You don't want to make her up. So you don't want to give her like some kind of food complex either, right? 'Cause that's the last thing I wanna do. I don't wanna give her a food complex. I don't want her to get, like, all stressed out over food. So we know, "What do you want?" She tells us what she wants, we pack it. Whether she eats it or not, we just throw it away. We throw away so much food. But I was like, if we only packed her lunch with what she was actually going to eat, we would go to jail because it's not enough food. I mean, we give her, like, 3 to 4 chicken nuggets, you know, a small little handful of some hash browns, get the little ones that are, like, this big, like you get at the restaurants. We get those. Walmart carries them. They're called crowns. We do what we can to feed her the best we can. And it's a struggle. We don't really give her candy all that often. We don't give her ice cream. We're not the ones like I said, on Fridays we go and she gets French fries and ice cream. That's on Fridays. I mean, I'm not sure what mommy and daddy feed her. That's up to them. That's mommy and daddy. But grandma and grandpa, us, mom and pa, we do the very best we can. So. Sonny says, I would say I spend off budget because I get to the store and remember things I do need. Yeah. Brian graduated in 80. Look at that. Rob in the cradle. Rick says, I like doing donuts and never eating them. Risa says, Rick, I look back. I look the same. Folks see me and think I haven't changed. I have changed a lot, just not on the outside. Oh, well, that's a lot of us. Caleb says, everything got me. I was addicted to everything. Yeah. I mean, like for me, I liked ice cream. I like ice cream. Um, it is kind of depressing now that you can't even get the Rebel ice cream sandwiches in the store anymore. It's weird. Like there was a time where there was so many keto products in the store, keto ice cream. Now there's still like keto bread and stuff like that, but it's just surprising that there's not more products in the store. There was a while where I thought it was going to grow and grow and grow, to we'd probably have like a whole keto aisle where like they had keto bread and keto box this and keto this. Now, is it keto? No. But is it something that keeps keto in the mind of the zeitgeist of society? Yes. Is that helpful? Maybe. I mean, because you can look at it two different ways. Okay. You can look at keto products in the store two different ways. You can look at keto products in the store as a distraction for those, or a crutch for those who are doing keto, for those who just need something sometimes. Like sometimes I'll pick up a little half loaf of keto bread just for me, and I'll get some bologna because I want a bologna sandwich. Sometimes I just want that. Is it the best option? Probably not, but sometimes I just want what I want and I'm going to do it. And I also see you can also look at the keto products as people going thinking they're doing keto, utilizing keto products, and then they don't see any success, they don't see any progress, so they don't think keto works for them, even though they're not really doing keto. They're just eating keto branded food. So there's two ways to look at that. So I still think keto products are important because, again, for those who are doing their best, living the lifestyle the best they can, it gives them something that may help them stay on track. But again, I also see the negative side of it where people will try that, live on those keto products, and then not really understand that keto is not what they're doing. So. Sherry says, happened Friday night when we went to Walmart, about double what I had planned to spend. I actually save money if I get grocery delivery, even paying a trip and fees, no impulse buys. Yeah, everybody has addictions, some form or another, whether you realize it or not. And then you may not, I mean, you very well may not, but I imagine that everybody's addicted to something. Yeah, Caleb was sweet or savory. Like for me, you know, I was savory more than I was sweet. So I mean, I was always pizza and all of that. Pizza, chicken nuggets, all that stuff. That's what I'd rather have had. Corn dogs, all that stuff. Rick doesn't drink or do any adult activities. He's awful tall and thin to be a square. Karen says, not a donut eater either. If there's cookie in the house, it's well, I mean, cookies are, yeah, cookies were good. I like those. He says, hey yo, sorry I'm late. Don't know why I slept so late. That's okay. Sometimes you just need sleep. It's okay. It's all right. Thank you for being here, my friend. And Risa says, I work in the bakery, so sweets don't do much. I see it often. I adore good pizza or good bread. There was like one time, and I'm glad we got it because, sometimes you buy something and you're kind of like, well, I wish I didn't get that. But so Costco had these big loaves of bread, fresh loaves of bread. They were heavy, dense bread, like that real thick, crunchy on the outside, chew on the inside, like Italian bread. And it was full of cloves of garlic. And I had saw that it was coming to Costco, and then went to Costco, and I saw where they had a loaf. I bought a loaf, and I'm glad because they have never had it again. It's just one of those things. Sometimes, and maybe it's just me, but I know that I have to give in to things sometimes. Because if I don't give in to things sometimes, then then it's probably more likely that I'm going to go off the rails. So I have to kind of vent it a little bit, and a lot of people can't do that. And I mean, I'm 9 years in, and I didn't do that for the first few years. I was pretty clean for the first few years. I mean, also for the first few years, there wasn't a lot of keto treats or anything like that, so we didn't have that. So it was much easier to stay on track. You know, so it was much easier to stay on track. And then you know, everyone's saying hello to Heath. Heath was class of '95, so you're only 3 years older than me. That's class of 98. People saying hello. Be right back. Need to find food. Risa says, I try not to let impulse buys do me in. I decide I am not going to touch it, go near it, so it doesn't tempt me. I'll go down a different aisle so I don't have to be. Yeah, and a lot of 99% of the time I'm fine, and I go in and get what I need, and I get exactly what we need, and I go home, and that's fine. Just sometimes, what am I looking at here? Karen says she's fasting. Her body knows better than mine did. Still not a faster. I like fasting. I like fasting from time to time. Sonny says, when the kids were young, we were on WIC. I was too when I was growing up. We were on WIC. They showed my guidelines of food portions of food. Maybe look at food portion size appropriate for her age. Yeah, I mean, we know what to give her. But we want to make sure that she's actually going to eat. She doesn't eat very much. Like she would rather do anything than eat. Like when we sit her down to have lunch when we're together a lot, like when she's not in school, like on summer break, we'll sit down to have food and she takes breaks to go play because she would rather do anything than eat. And and she's really skinny, but I mean she's energetic, she has lots of energy. So, I know she's not starving, but I mean, and it's also difficult because I am a feeder. But I have to be, I understand, we don't force her to eat anything except, on the way to school, have another bite of eggs, have another bite of chicken, at least get something in your tummy so you're not growling and grouchy at school. And Risa says, I don't feel I am addicted anymore. Smarter, and if I do get anything, I eat very little. I walk away and leave it in the kitchen for others. Yeah, I'm the same way, a little bit, like, that's why I have controlled things. Like if we go out to dinner, we don't bring the leftovers home, that kind of stuff. Jay says, have you looked into iodine deficiency in our diets and the benefits and well-being and health? Yes. So if you take a look at Dr. Barry, I will do something here. Hold on. I will put a link in the description here. Now, again, I don't know if you'll be able to order this or not. But I'm gonna put this in here. This is the iodine that we use. Again, I don't know if this is something that you can get or not. Click on it and see. Yeah, it's the J. Crow's. Yeah, that's what I have. So that's an affiliate link for Amazon. That's the one we use. We buy it. We buy the 3 bottles at a time. So let me know if that's something that you can get. I don't know if that's something you can get or not. You know. Yeah, and we understand, and we just want to make sure that we just pack her a full lunch and she eats what she's going to eat. You know. So I mean, she doesn't overeat for sure. So and Caleb says that me liking all the foods is a reason why I have a decent amount of fat and muscle at 100%. And Sean says, I guess we were the ones keeping the enlightened ice cream bars in business. They quit selling them in Walmart when we stopped getting them. Well, I mean, like they Shander liked the mint ones, so I would buy her the mint ones. They were $8 for three, so we didn't buy them all that often. But still, like then they kept the spot, but they just were never in. And maybe Rebel stopped making them. I don't know. But then they had the peanut butter ones, and they disappeared, and they don't even have the spot for it anymore. So kind of sucks. Like I liked having the option. I like having the options to buy something, but they basically removed all options that we had. I mean, you can still get Halo Top, but it's just not good. It's not good enough for the money. It's not even good enough. It's just not. So that's just one of those things. And Rick, I grew up on bologna. I grew up poor bologna, all that stuff, and I love it. I don't care. And Rick says every cat I have seems to fall in love with me. I wonder if it's because I'm a carnivore too. I don't know. Maybe they just. I think cats fall in love with us because, well, the one they need us more than we need them, and they know we'll feed them, and they know if they give us affection that we'll feed them. So who knows? Risa says, Rick, I actually like bologna every once in a while. When I was a teen, taking lunch to school, I hate it. Wouldn't eat it. I would complain to mom. She said it was cheap. Now, yes, I'll eat some. That's how I look at it. Really, like there's just something about a bologna sandwich. It's like a nostalgia factor for me. Like bologna on wheat. Or like my grandma would get bologna shaved thin in the deli and fry it up. Fry bologna. Oh, it's so good. I don't get that too often, but I'll get just the Eckridge bologna, the regular sliced, and is it good? No, it's made with garbage. But even Dr. Barry will say you can still be successful eating bologna and hot dogs. I do. I have those from time to time. Caleb says I did whole food low carb sub 10 for months. Lost 30 pounds, got weak, hated it, went straight from that to 1,200 calorie a day, lost another 15, and it sucked. And my arms shrunk. Yeah, I mean, you gotta eat. You gotta eat. You gotta have your protein. And protein is very calorically dense and all that stuff. Risa says, I woke up at 8:30, thought it was 2 hours later, couldn't go back to sleep. Oh, goodness. Sean says, Homer Simpson was pretty much my cartoon alternate. I woke up, I work at a power plant and love food and beer. I could eat just about anything and it all made me drool. Oh, 100%. Not a big beer drinker though. I'm not a big alcohol person anymore. When I was younger, I liked it, but now it's not that big of a deal. Rick said, I tried to resist, but I had to give in to the iguana cravings. Now I am having duck cravings. Duck cravings, iguana cravings, duck cravings. Cindy said fried bologna and eggs. Only way I'll eat bologna. Oh, it sounds so good too. Only I've ever had bologna and eggs. That sounds really, really good though. Oh, Scott is in the house. Platte River Keto. Good morning, friends. Thank you for being here, my friend. I truly appreciate you. How are you doing, my friend? How's the rock going? How are the dogs? Oh, my nose is itchy today. Oh, yes. And Risa says bologna is great with eggs. Sometimes I do any type of salami with eggs. So good. Oh yeah. I think I forgot to buy the kids salami the other day. I was looking at it and forgot. They asked me for salami and I forgot. I'll have to pick that up at the store today. Sean says, I don't think Show would like to be compared to Marge Simpson, though. You never know. Rick says, I still go dumpster diving for food. So here's the deal, Rick. You wonder why we eat duck food, and then the average person's going to go, you go dumpster diving for food? Gross. So there's more people out there who would be repulsed by that and wonder why you do what you do than the one Rick who's like, why do you eat duck food? So you got to keep that in mind. Perspective is a lot. And there's going to be more people who wonder why you do what you do than there is you wondering why we do what we do. Feel me? He says the dogs normally wake me up around 5 or 6 a.m. They even slept in. You know what? That sounds wonderful. Cindy says I just bought the book Iodine Crisis. I still need to read it, but I have not used iodine at all. I think it's so iodine is important to the Midwest because a lot of this there's just not a lot of it for us. So those of us in the Midwest have issues with the necessity of iodine. We don't get it. We don't get enough of it. And Risa says iodine isn't always a solution. Indigo Neely went through a whole thing with iodine and it doesn't take it anymore. Caused other health issues. I use Keto Chow Daily Minerals. That will work too. Jay's gonna look for that video. And Risa said she did a whole playlist. I imagine she did. And Sunny says bologna is just seasoned meat, and eating bologna is better than eating a sugar-filled anything. Yeah, I mean, realistically, bologna is probably more like organy type stuff. Like bologna is probably a better, you know what I mean? Like there's probably some bonuses that you can get out of bologna that you're not even thinking of because it's all ground up to me. It's all the stuff that we wouldn't eat normally, at least these days. Sean says bologna tastes like an uncooked hot dog. Not to yuck anyone else's yum, it's just not for me. I remember being a kid eating raw hot dogs or raw hot dogs. But like I love hot dogs in the air fryer. I like them boiled. Sometimes I just like a boiled hot dog. Boiled hot dog sometimes just hits the spot. And Sonny says, of course I'd rather have a steak. There are times where I would rather have something other than steak. I'd rather have like bologna than steak. It's just weird. Sometimes you just want something else. Because we eat steak a lot. Back when I used to drink beer, my favorite was free and free light. I have never heard of that. Caleb, you have never had bologna? Ugh. What a first world problem to have. Like, that's just like, I've never had bologna. You guys ever watched Weird Science? The movie Weird Science? She's like, this is baloney, and she doesn't stand for baloney. Oh, horses have, so the Budweiser horses have sold more beer than animal on the planet, I imagine. Rick from Twinbrook Acres is in the house. Good day, all. Well, thank you for being here, Rick. Truly appreciate you very much. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Nancy Tanner is in the house. Good morning, Nancy. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, everyone, she says. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Truly appreciate you being here. Cindy says, probably something mean. Not a hot dog or a bologna fan at all. Like I said, only like bologna fried on rare occasions. I hear you. Lewis Stone says hot dogs that have been sitting in the spinny thing at the gas station are the best. I tell you what, sometimes like the dirty water hot dogs, like the hot dog carts, oh, they're so good. Like just the jumbo hot dogs that have been sitting in just hot dog water cooking all night. Delicious. Sometimes a crispy hot dog is the way. Sometimes the boiled hot dog is the way. I used to make hot dogs all the time. I would take and boil hot dogs with onion, like minced onion in the water, and crushed red pepper. And I would boil the hot dogs in there for a while, let them boil for a good while till the seam starts to split. You know what I'm saying? You know, I do everything fancy. You know, eat my hot dogs with my pinky out. You know, Ugh, yes. So we're 2 hours into this, everybody. How is everybody doing today? How are you doing? What do you guys have planned for the rest of the week? We are on spring break, or I should say, the girls on spring break. I am still looking for reliable work because I have not been having much work or much luck getting work with the train driving gig. The issue with that for me is the fact that if they don't call by a certain time, then I can't take a job because I'll be gone for too long and I've got stuff to do. So it's just one of those things, you know. You know. So Kitchen Witch is here. Thank you for joining us. I have access to limitless German wieners at work. Good to know. I'm spoiled for that. It's pretty good. And Risa says, when I make hot dogs, either I put them in my Ninja wood fire grill or in the air fryer. They get like the rippers from the local NJ hot dog joints. Oh yeah, like where they deep fry those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They rip them open. I remember I've deep fried hot dogs before. Like I have some oil left over or something I'm doing, and I'll just throw a couple of hot dogs in there. But you gotta make sure to put the lid on those because they'll spatter real bad. They'll try to pop and crackle real bad because they're kind of wet. And Sean says that I still have beer on occasion. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday. That used to be where we would love an ice cold beer. Getting hot wings, didn't drink one. P.S. Wings didn't agree with me. Now, I guess that, from what I understand, is Buffalo Wild Wings has started back doing buy one, get one free on Tuesdays, where they had used to be buy one, get one free, and then they switched to buy one, get one 50% off. So if you were getting like, a $20 order of wings, the next order was $10. Now you can get two orders for $20. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Risa's here saying that I've got work 5 days this week, starting 2 to 8. No real plans for the days off. Just stuff around here. Spring cleaning. I hate the idea of spring cleaning. Ugh, gross. Rick says I work, eat, and sleep. You go live. You play with a cat. You ride your bike around town. Kitchen Wish is just waking up. Tanya's just waking up. Just waking up with an iguana in your cup. Evelyn says, we are on spring break, or what we call spring break, through tomorrow, only 3 days off school. Rude. Our girl has 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I wasn't gonna say this, Rick, but Limitless Wieners does sound that way. I'm like, it's not even. It's daylight outside. Come on. Evelyn's birthday is in 6 days. Happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday to you. Yes. Happy early birthday to Evelyn. If you're Evelyn, does that make Carl Skeletor? I don't know what's happening. Oh, look, yes. Happy early birthday, Evelyn. Yeah, see, I didn't want to say it. Didn't want to say it. It was there. I read it. Limitless Wieners. I can't help it. I'm here. There we go. What do you want from me? See, you can read me. I'm like an open book. Rick, I could tell Dustin was holding back on that. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I was like, do I go there? Do I not? I think you worded it that way on purpose. I think you did. I think you were trying to bait me. Skillet Carl! Yes. Rick says, I brought in a junk bike and my cat is attacking it. Well, you're going to watch out for those bikes. They're going to get you. The cat's got to protect you. Sunny for another gifted membership. Fantastic. Wallflower was recipient of the gifted membership. Look at that. Welcome, Wallflower. I hope you enjoy the gifted membership whenever you see this. Fantastic. I guess just bend over and crack a smile. Okay, come on. You're trying to get me in trouble here. It's not even after dark. Let's go. Sean says, all you need is Cheech Marin doing advertising for Limitless Wieners. Okay, all right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, a little beverage. Nancy Tanner says, Cindy, we have so much in common. I can't believe you don't like bologna and hot dogs. Do you like coffee, Nancy? Because if you hate coffee, then you and Cindy have a club. They can have like a club and like a secret handshake and shit. You know what I mean? Just like whatever, like and then jazz fingers. You know what I mean? Just do whatever you want to do. Yes, congratulations, Wallflower. Again, if you are watching over on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, come on over. Say hello. I'll be here for about another half hour, 45 minutes, give or take, because we're 2 hours and 13 minutes into this deal. Come over, hang out, say hello. Nancy does not like coffee. Cindy, I think you found your new best friend. I think. Look, Nancy, Cindy, Coffee Haters Club. Ugh. And Sean says, Keith wants to join the Coffee Haters Club. Ken Pattinson is in the house. Good morning, my good friend Ken. I am so glad you are here. I know you were listening before because Cindy doesn't get too far without you being right there with her. So he says, good morning to all. Stacy has a birthday this Saturday. Happy birthday to my beautiful wife. Well, happy birthday to Stacy. I can't wait to see you on the 1st. Woo! Rick, I hate coffee. I mean, the thing is it's easier to list off the things that you do like, Rick. because we'll be here all day if you just lift off. Like you'll be like Forrest, like you'll be like Bubba Gump. You're like, I hate coffee, I hate bread, I hate chicken nuggets, I hate ice cream, I hate popsicles, I hate cotton candy, I hate I hate lollipops, I hate gummy bears, I hate sponge cake, pound cake, dump cake, I hate birthday cake, I hate um I hate everything at the grocery store. I hate grocery stores. Uh, I mean, let's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. See, he thinks coffee is overrated. It is not overrated. Coffee keeps me from going to jail. So Cindy says the Coffee Caters Club is growing. Tanya with $10 says happy birthday, Stacy. I appreciate that so very much. Oh my goodness. I appreciate that. Giving me a super chat wishing Cindy or Stacy a happy birthday. I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What? How did the cat pop the bike tire? The inner tube or the tire? Like you got a tiger? Like that's a teeny tiny kitten. Like, but for real, how does that even happen? Oh my goodness. I don't even understand what's happening anymore. What's happening? So the 29th is Stacy's birthday. Caleb is joining the Coffee Haters Club. Heath says, I don't hate coffee. Just know it doesn't taste good. It tastes amazing. I don't understand you guys. You guys are ridiculous. Hungry Heath, you've made Bucky sad. Bucky Beaver is sad. You've hurt his feelings. Sonny says, I enjoy coffee. I only have half calf or decaf though. That's rude. But everybody does to everybody. Everybody does what they're gonna do. Rick goes, laugh out loud. I'm like the Grinch who hates everything. Yes. Evelyn says, yes, Stacy and I are birthday twins. Woo! That's awesome. Happy birthday, ladies. Andy is actually still here. She says, yes, 29th is Evelyn's birthday. I know Andy did not know about Stacy, says Cindy. Evelyn says, I'll be 51. She'll be 71. Besties for life. Sean says, Rick, did the cat blow up like a balloon or just like a cartoon? Risa says, the thing is, there was bad coffee and there was excellent coffee. If all you've ever drank was Folgers or stuff like that, try real coffee brewed in a pot. Go from there. I love espresso. This is like 6 shots of espresso and some heavy cream. Oh yeah, it's the most delicious stuff ever. Probably way too much caffeine for the day, but I mean, hey, I'm here. He says I don't like any hot drink. It has to be stupid cold for me to want to drink hot cocoa. That's called chocolate milk, man. Rick says he's been clawing the tire. It's leaking air now. Well, now you got to patch it. Sonny says I can't sleep if I'm full of caffeine. I can drink this coffee. It's like over 500 milligrams of caffeine. After this, go lay down and pass out. Caffeine doesn't impact me a lot of the times. Andy says I went away, but I came back. I'll catch up later. Well, I know you will. I just never know if people are listening or what's going on. Rick, that's disgusting. He says garbage juice is better than coffee. Have you tried both? Have you been like, it's a blind taste test. I've got garbage juice and coffee. Like, I'll take the garbage juice. Come on now. Come on now. Evelyn says Bones coffee is the bestest. Okay, so here's what I've heard. Okay, Cindy has this here, and we're going to talk about this, okay? Cindy says if you have to doctor up your coffee to drink it, you must not like coffee. That's like saying, I like pizza, and if you don't want anything besides cheese on your pizza, you don't like pizza. If you want pepperoni and sausage and onions and peppers on your pizza, you don't really like pizza. You know what I'm saying? I'm emotional here. I'm letting it out because I've heard this all the time. You have to put cream and sugar. You don't really like coffee. You just like cream and sugar. Get that trash out of here. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Okay? Because it's like, like if you like ice cream and you don't want just plain vanilla, you don't like ice cream. You want chocolate swirl in your ice cream, you don't really like ice cream. You know what I mean? Come on now. Let's go. I like coffee. I like coffee with cream. I like black coffee. He said, the warden is a coffee nerd and has me try several different ones, but none have impressed me. Well, I mean, no one's perfect, Heath. And she's just better than you. What can I say? Sonny says, I drink my coffee cold with stevia and heavy cream. Andy says, reading that back, it sounds like my life theme. I did something, left, came back, left again, try something new. Well, you're here. You ain't going anywhere. Even if you're not listening, it's fine. Cindy says, I like just cheese pizza too. You know what? You have problems, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Risa says, I hated coffee until I tasted the real stuff at an Italian espresso place years ago. Now I drink Nespresso. Our Nespresso machine died, so I've been using instant espresso, the Nescafe, the Intenso or whatever. Oh, it's so good. It's almost better than the Nespresso stuff was. I have a favorite Starbucks iced shaken espresso with sugar-free vanilla. I agree, Bones Coffee. If I go to Starbucks, and that's only if I'm out and I just need coffee. Like sometimes I'll be like, if I go to Kroger, they have a Starbucks inside, and I'm kind of like, you know what? I want a coffee. I just need coffee. Sometimes on Sundays we're gonna have the kids over, and I'm like, I need coffee. So I'll get a coffee. I get a venti americano. Typically, I get a blonde americano if they have it, but sometimes the inside Starbucks locations do not have their blonde espresso. So I'm just getting whatever they have, and then with some heavy cream. Yeah. JJ says too much caffeine. It happens. I am a passionate person. He said, "Oh boy, look out. Homeboy's in his feelings." Yes. Yes, I'm a passionate person. You know what I'm saying? Sonny says, I agree. And JJ says, they just started selling Bones coffee here locally, but I haven't tried it. Being a Louisiana guy, let's see, I've had community all my life. Okay. And he says, the best thing I ever gave up was flavored creamer. Now just butter coffee. Well, I have a stick of butter in here and heavy cream. Blend it up with a milk frother. I pour in boiling water, let that melt for a little bit. Then I blend it all up good. And then I pour the heavy cream in, a little bit more water. Perfection. It's delicious. Risa says, I like my coffee any way, any which way at this point, with creamer, without, heavy cream, whatever. First one always has daily minerals and keto brains. Yeah, I still haven't tried keto brains yet. Uh, I drank coffee black for a long time because it was just the easiest way to do it. We had a pot at work, and I would just pour and just keep drinking black coffee because that way I don't have to worry about keeping cream, and I can drink as much coffee as I wanted. And then if I ran out of cream, and I would be like, ugh, you know what I mean? So I can drink black coffee. I enjoy black coffee, but I just discovered that I enjoy coffee with cream even more. Evelyn says I just started selling cold cans of Bones at our local gas station. It's filled with sugar. Yeah, I think I saw some Bones coffee in cans at Walmart the other day. I wasn't sure. Somebody says I don't do Starbucks. I'm not the biggest fan of Starbucks, but they are one of the only places that I know of that has heavy cream on a regular basis. So I can go in there, I can get mm, excuse me, I can get an Americano. I know they're gonna have heavy cream and it's consistent. It may not be great, but it's consistent and they're everywhere. That's the thing. It's like they're like the McDonald's of coffee. They're everywhere. I mean, in our town where I live, so there's a Kroger with a Starbucks inside. Across the street, there's a standalone Starbucks, and then there's a highway, and on the other side of the highway is another Starbucks. So it's like the Lewis Black bit come to life. Because across the street was another Starbucks. He says, "Speaking of pizza, thanks for jinxing me last night, Sean. Rude." Risa says, "Our espresso machine died last week, and we went to Costco and got another Virtuo machine. The coffee is even hotter." So we don't have the Virtuo. We had the original pods, and I have a bunch of those original pods. We have hundreds and hundreds of them. So eventually, I'm going to have to replace it with another machine. But yeah, we've got a 7 brew as well. I haven't been there yet. They just opened here at the beginning of March. They are so good. I haven't been there. Do they just have do they have a good I mean, I like Americanos. So I'm not really a big fan of drip coffee. I want espresso. I gotta maybe try it and go through there one day and see how it goes. Dope. Risa says, Dustin, I had an Americano a few weeks ago and it burnt my tongue for 3 days. That happens at Starbucks. And then I guess some driver just got Starbucks spilled on them and caused burns. And people get upset because, like that lady in like the 90s or whatever it was, that it's got McDonald's coffee spilt on her. People were like, "Oh my god, it's just hot coffee. You know it's hot." Blah 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 blah. She had third-degree burns over 16% of her body. She had to have multiple skin grafts, not to mention the emotional damage of being the lady who got burnt by McDonald's coffee forever. I think she's passed away now. I think she's passed away now, but I'm pretty sure 'cause I think she was pretty old when it happened. And this new like Uber driver, like a new gig worker got the coffee spilled on him. The same thing. Starbucks coffee is hot. Like when they hand it to you, sometimes you can barely hold it with the little padded ring, the little cardboard ring they put around it. They've been double cupping it and then putting the ring on the outside of that, and it's hot. Like you have to just let it sit for a while before you can drink it. It's just so hot. So be careful with that stuff. It's really hot. Like trying to walk around Kroger after I buy it. Like you're trying to hold on to it. It's hot. And you can't set it in the cart. They don't have a cup holder in the cart. So like you're trying to hold it and push the cart. It's bad news bears. And JJ says, I've been using Keto Brains for over a year. It's good. I've never tried it. I know I have a packet of it from KPL. I just never tried it. Karen says, I used to drink Bones coffee, got a little expensive for my budget. My favorite was Army of Dark Chocolate. Army of Darkness. Everyone loves that. I've never tried it. He says, now I want to make a Dutch Bros run before the MSJ at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So be sure to catch Heath's MS Journey live today, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. He's going to talk stuff about MS Journey. Did you see that video that I sent to you? So I saw this short. It was saying that of all of the people that have died from MS that they have autopsied, every single one of now I don't know, I have no basis of comparison, no basis of truth to this statement that I'm about to make. That they every single MS patient that they've autopsied that has passed away has had what you call it, parasites in the spinal fluid in the brain. And then I've seen a rise in people in the carnivore community talking about they're taking ivermectin stuff that they get from like the tractor supply company. I'm like, what's even happening? Why are we believing this stuff? Like, what? I mean, not to say why are we believing it, but like, how do we remove fact from fiction? Our community, we there's a lot going on. I'm seeing carnivores talking about you don't need to salt your food. Just eat meat and you're good to go. I never need to use salt. Okay, cool for you, bro. But like, like I'm just seeing so much weird stuff being thrown out there. And I kind of wonder as the carnivore community grows, as keto and the proper human diet stuff grows, is there going to be misinformation filtered in just to make us seem crazy? And that's kind of like when it comes to the creators who make videos of them eating chunks out of the butter sticks and stuff. I don't necessarily think that helps our cause. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't do what they do because it's up to them to do what they want to do, right? But I kind of wonder like when the average person sees somebody on a carnivore lifestyle or whatever going, I just bite out of the butter. It looks crazy. It looks silly. It's like, oh, okay, Paula Dean. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, does that help us? Does it hurt us? And I think there's a lot going on out there that we need to be careful of what we read and what we believe because maybe a little bit of fact checking on your own. I know it's like, doing research, but, like just kind of things like I see things all the time of, they'll post a picture of a celebrity who has passed away, but they're not gone. They're just doing it for clicks. You got to look at like, am I seeing this for clicks or am I seeing this because it's true? There's just so much out there I think we need to look at and kind of get an idea of what's really going on. I don't know. That's a little weird rant, and I apologize. Evelyn says the quality of Starbucks coffee hurts my kidneys. The bones is low acid, single source, low mold content. Okay, all right. Yeah, Starbucks is expensive, but again, like I said, it's one of those things. It's not cheap, but it's like okay, I'm out, and I just need coffee. It's a means to an end. I never go out anticipating to go to Starbucks. I don't need to go to Starbucks. I don't plan to go to Starbucks. But sometimes, like especially like if we're on vacation or we're out and about, like if we're on like staying in an Airbnb or something, we don't have access to like our own coffee, then we may do something like stopping at Starbucks. It's just a convenience thing. It's not good, but you need coffee. You get coffee where you can get it. He says when we were in Seattle, there was a Starbucks inside of a Starbucks. That makes sense. Reese's says Hubby drinks all of his black. When I met him, he drank Maxwell House. Now it is either an espresso or Starbucks ice shake and espresso, three shots. He sips on it for most of the day. Okay, yeah. Sonny says Seven Brew is my favorite. Yeah, we have one. I just not been there. It's like right across the street from where they're building a Wawa. So our town of Brownsburg is getting a Wawa. And I'm like, I don't think. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'll. I mean, I'll go in when they first open, probably. But like, I wasn't impressed with Wawa in Florida. Sonny says, I like that the large size is 32 ounce at Dutch Bros. Do they have heavy cream? I need to look at their menu and see what they have. JJ says they have a wide menu with several sugar-free options, way more than Starbucks. I've had their Americano. It's pretty good. I've stopped going to Starbucks after trying them out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, realistically, Starbucks is like just a means to an end. It's a, I need coffee and Starbucks is here because Starbucks is everywhere. You can almost always find a Starbucks. You know what you're going to get with Starbucks. I would rather go to a small local coffee shop, but a lot of those aren't as convenient because most of them aren't drive through. You can drive through Starbucks, you know. There's just, I mean, there's just like kind of a convenient factor that kind of begins, but we don't go there intentionally. We don't go there we don't go there for any real reason other than, hey, I need coffee. There's a Starbucks. Tanya says, Team Bean Grinder, iced coffee, that is. Let's see. Evelyn says, Carl always orders quad espresso, hot or over ice. They ask if he wants from frou crap in it. He always says, nope, no frou crap. Okay. Nancy Turner says, OMG, Cindy, I love cheese pizza too. Did you guys just become best friends? I think so. Now you guys are going to have bunk beds, have all this room for extra activities. Cindy says, I like extra toppings too, but can do just cheese. I do just cheese all the time, but I do other toppings, just no onions. I like onions. Onions are delicious. Carl says, food service law sucks. The holding temps of foods and drinks are extreme to keep down bacterial growth. They don't want it to be, they don't want it that hot. Make it yourself. Yeah, I get it, but I mean, but spilling on yourself and having to have skin grafts is just like, I mean, I don't want to go through that life. That's awful. Let's see. I think I saw that it's very difficult to treat MS because no two people have the same symptoms. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I kind of wonder if we have it all wrong. I mean, what if it is what if it is parasitic infestation? Sounds disgusting, makes my skin crawl. But what if it is that? I was asking Shander that last night. I was like, I mean, it sounds crazy on the surface, but like as a thought experiment, what if that's the case? Like, what if I mean, you know, I mean, they're not checking spinal. Do they check spinal fluid and check for parasites when you're diagnosed with MS? I have very little knowledge of what goes on to diagnose it. I mean, I know they're probably not doing anything to find out if you got brain parasites or anything. You know what I mean? Like, what if that was a thing, and what if that paste, the horse paste, works? That'd be weird. And then people would be like, "Oh no!" I mean, it's just weird questions, and I think, you know, it's weird thought experiments. You know, but people get upset. And JJ says, "We live in a world. Unfortunately, we live in a world now where if you repeat something over and over again, it becomes fact." Yeah, to a degree, and sometimes if people deny things enough, it becomes false. Like if we say, you know, cholesterol's bad, cholesterol's bad. It's just it's just all kinds of ways out there. Like now we're struggling to prove that cholesterol isn't bad. We're struggling to prove that red meat doesn't cause cancer and doesn't cause heart disease, and eggs are good for you, and salt is good for you, and and beef tallow is healthy, and we're struggling to fix a lot of things. And I just kind of wonder, like, how much damage has big pharma done by putting us on medications where simple things could have been the fix. I don't know, you know? That says they are banned from using salt at school for school food. They are feeding to kids, literally not allowed. That's crazy. And salt is very important to our lives. That's the craziest thing. They're so focused on removing sugar from. And I have a question. So, one thing that I've asked and no one seems to be able to answer, if you take sugary now, and I now should kids have sugary beverages? I don't think they should have access to them as much as they do. But so at school, there's vending machines, typically high schools usually, after school activities. They're selling chips and candies and stuff, and they're filling vending machines with like popcorn and all that. Like, but if they remove the sugary beverages and they remove the snacks, what do they replace them with? What are those kids who are doing after school activities going to have to replace them with? Are they going to open up the cafeteria? Are they going to replace those things with healthy sugar filled fruit juices? Are they going to replace those things with healthy, granola? What are they going to replace them with? They're going to replace the unhealthy snacks with even more unhealthy snacks, guys, that's healthy? What do we do? Like, I mean, I keep saying that we need to remove all these things from school, but nobody seems to have an answer of, well, what do you replace them with? You can't say something like pork rinds. That's one thing. Beef sticks, that's two things. I don't know. There's just questions that we don't have answers to. Carl says, I love my keto brains. Lion's mane, alpha GPC, MCT, I-thionine, and great for my mind. All those things. Dr. Barry, he said, Dr. Barry advised me to go as low carb as possible, but I love too many veggies. So that's the question. So is now I have a question. So and maybe you've answered this in previous videos and such, but when you are as low, say you go zero carb or as close to zero carb as you can, as close to carnivore as you can for 30 days, and you feel great versus when you're having vegetables, is the enjoyment you get from vegetables more important than how good you feel? Or like how bad like your motor functions or like your walking ability, that kind of thing? Is that something that is like the food more important? And I mean, I'm asking because I'm a addict. I am gonna be a food addict for the rest of my life, and there's things that I'm never gonna be able to get away from. So, I mean, I ask this not to be facetious, but serious, because I am somebody who goes back to things knowing that I probably shouldn't have them, but I continue to go back. But I have questions because if I was in a situation, I'd like to think that me knowing that I could have less symptoms, be feeling better. I know for me, like the heartburn issues that I have got away from, allergy issues that I've got away from, sleeping better at night. Like if I go off plan and have, a bad meal at night, I sleep worse at night. I don't sleep as good and I'm miserable the next day. There's just a lot of things that kind of come into play. And I'm curious if Dr. Barry advised that to you, did you notice a difference? And if so, is that difference worth adding in vegetables back? I mean, I guess it seems like it is, but I'm just curious. And maybe you can elaborate on that in your MS journey today, but and go into more detail than you can in the chat. But I'm just curious. I mean, I ask questions. I think we had to ask these questions, like when on Cindy's live on Friday, she was talking with Neely, and Neely's talking about how she's kind of gone back to a higher carb diet. Um, and I was like, have you still found you're still finding metabolic flexibility? Can, like, if you haven't eaten in a few hours, does your body still revert back to ketosis? And these are questions that I have because I think they're relevant and important questions for people who are maybe looking at doing and adding more carbohydrates to their diet. Maybe they have found healing and now they're kind of in a situation where maybe they need to add more in or whatever, because we are all individuals and we're all different and we all are on a different path. And I think these are very big questions to ask. And I think, your experience is valid. And I mean, you're the one who experiences you. So that's why I ask these questions. Um, JJ says, I haven't eaten lunch at school in over 7 years, with the exception of the senior breakfast celebration, because it's hard to screw up bacon and eggs. I mean, you can, but it's just difficult. Risa says, I was adding four Sigmatic coffee creamer for over a year, but it is mainly Lion's Mane and MCT. The Keto Brains has more things for the brain. It isn't cheap, but it is worth it. Yeah, I just haven't had a chance. He says the warden is so pro coffee that she had me download all the apps and even had me register my birthday so she can get the freebie. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's working smarter, not harder. Evelyn says, I don't eat anything they serve at school, JJ. We just got new food service this year. Okay. He says Dutch Brothers no longer has heavy whipping cream here. So I mean, like if a place doesn't have heavy cream, I mean, I'm just better off going home. I'm never that far from home. So I mean, that's why I don't go. I would prefer to go to like Dunkin', but Dunkin' doesn't have heavy cream. If Dunkin' had heavy cream, they have that really bold, dark coffee, and it's really good. Like an iced bold coffee with heavy cream. Oh, that'd be delightful. But Starbucks owns Seattle's best coffee. Burger King serves Seattle's best, by the way. So there's another. So across the street from the Starbucks and the Starbucks is the Burger King, who serves Seattle's best, which is Starbucks. Interesting. Scott Elliott is here. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, checking in from Colorado. Say hello to the mountains for me. I appreciate you very much. He says, I pretty much like everything on my pizza except never olives. I don't like black olives. I don't know why. Chris is here. He says, good morning. Chris Cook in Nashville household. Slept in today. I can see that. Good morning. You guys have been working so hard. You've been so busy. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine. You guys work so hard and so much. You deserve to sleep in. As much as I enjoy you being a part of this conversation, enjoy your company, you guys just work too hard. And while I will miss you if you don't show up on a Sunday, I know why. He said, yes, sadly, I'm silly like that. It's not just clever name. I absolutely love to eat. Triple B&E is not sustainable for me. I feel like I need more variety. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. It's difficult to maintain triple B&E for a long period of time for me, but I think in the long run, I feel better doing it. And if I can be more consistent with it, I think the long term consistency with things here and there, like once or twice a month, having some variety is probably going to be better for me, you know? Carl says Dunkin' very has very bad coffee, but they're black. Like they have like a really dark cold brew that's really good. It may not be very good quality, but it tastes good. But again, I haven't had that in a very long time. So I mean, maybe I'm just kind of remembering with rose-colored glasses. Cindy says one day I ate multiple servings of milk chocolate chalk zero bunny. Within a couple of hours, I checked my glucose and ketones. The amount of carbs had me in lower blood sugar, but ketones were still zero point 0.4. Nice. Cindy is also not an olive fan. I actually had a couple of olives today. I like green olives, but I had pimento and garlic stuffed olives. Delicious. They're the Good brand, the new Walmart Good brand. I haven't ever seen the either you get pimento stuffed or garlic stuffed. Never both. Costco had garlic and jalapeno stuffed ones, but I wasn't feeling those. I wasn't feeling those. Sean says classic cake donut keto chow waffles. God bless keto chow. I agree. Was Nancy? She says she doesn't like them, so she hates olives. Cindy's not an olive fan, so I think you guys are still best friends. Yeah. Chris says I love olives, but rarely have them anymore. I keep olives. I keep the garlic stuffed olives and stuff in the pantry because it's kind of like one of those like if I can have a quick snack with some salt, that's kind of nice because it's really really salty. So it kind of kills some cravings sometimes too. Okay, we're friends again. Look at that. Evelyn says we like the jalapeno stuffed from Aldi. I see they have like feta stuffed ones and all that stuff. Pretty cool. You're not wrong, Carl. Like, I was surprised that they didn't keep, like, birthday cake, and, like, I'm think they're never gonna bring back this one. I've got this fruity cereal one they're never gonna bring back, so I'm, like, holding on to it. It's, like, here forever and ever because 'cause I'm afraid they're not gonna they're ever gonna get it back. You know what I mean? Like, and then I've got this one right here too, this birthday. I've got the cake donut one. I'm gonna hold on to these because they're good for like 5 years, and I'm just gonna maybe they'll bring them back one day, but they just keep not having the good flavors, and I don't know if they're really not working on a grape electrolyte, but maybe they will, maybe they won't, you know? Reese's says, "I mixed classic cake donut with snickerdoodle yesterday. That was so good." Oh, that's awesome. And Chris says, "I can eat a whole jar of olives without trying. Love the salt, so I have to be careful." Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can eat a whole one too, and they're relatively low carb, so it's not that big of a deal. And and it's kind of a snack that I can have. That's not that, you know what I mean? It's yeah. Probably should. I think I might have some sardines today. We'll see how I feel about that. Grilled olives. That's uh, that's pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever seen grilled olives before. And Nancy says, fruit cereal, keto chows, that is my favorite. I also love the banana nut bread. Yeah, they're just weird when it comes to those flavors. Like butterscotch was one of those was a giant flavor that sold out like so fast. So we'll have to see how it all goes. And I mean, realistically, they drop these flavors, and I think they just kind of make them to see if they can, and then they just kind of not bring them back. It's kind of weird. Like, you know, all right. Carl says, "Be careful, Chris. Carnivore police will get you for eating olives." That is so very true. He says, "I'm sad that Keto Chow is doing away with the creamy tomato basil. I use that to make barbecue sauce and make pizza crusts." That sounds awesome. Chris said that he thinks banana bread was his favorite. And Chris said, "Yeah, Carl, you're correct. They hate me anyway, no matter, I mean, really, no matter what he does, really." And Scott says, "I had sardines for the first time yesterday. I like them more than I thought I would." To me, I mean, they're just a more flavorful, fatty, tender tuna. I mean, if you like tuna fish, if you like tuna salad, but I like tuna. I used to put tuna in my macaroni and cheese. I can only imagine how good sardines would be in macaroni and cheese. You know, Risa said that I love the creamy tomato for chaffles and have that pasta dinner that they were. Yeah, yeah. Nancy said, "I saw that they had discontinued banana nut bread, but it seems like they sold out pretty quick. I don't understand. There are about 12 unavailable flavors." That's just the thing is like, I think it's just a matter of what they can keep in stock, you know? Yeah. Chris said, "I love sardines. If you could find polar smoked sardines in either Olive oil or water, depending on your diet. Those are amazing. The smoke sets them over the edge. Are they boneless, skinless, or are they like the full fish? Because I like the boneless, skinless ones. I mean, I probably should like the regular ones, but yeah. Let's see. Evelyn said just buy plain beef base and add powdered tomato and basil for the flavoring. Oh, that's a good idea. Where do you get those? Where do you get powdered tomato? Carl. Chris, you made me laugh at the Brazilian steakhouse. You had to hide your olives from public view and whispered to Ash about it. That's amazing. Chris said, full fish. You'd never know. Bristling sardines are so tiny, and the smoke totally changes the game. Okay. I'll have to try those. Are they kind of crunchy? I don't know. It's just, yeah. Chris has just got to be so careful. And don't forget, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central. Chris, Victor, and myself will be going live with Keto Crusade episode number 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th episode. Can you believe it? We've been doing this almost half a year, almost 6 months into this. Can you imagine? When Chris reached out to me first and said, hey, I want to do a live stream with you and Victor, and I want to call it the Keto Crusade, I was like, I'm in. I'm in. I also may be heading down to hang out with Chris sometime next month. I was invited to do a live stream, a live, or not a live stream, a live podcast recording with Dr. Kiltz, April the 12th. I think I gotta talk to Chris and see what time his slot is. He's gonna be doing one too that day. Um, I think. I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to be talking about this. No one says anything to me, so it's whatever it is. I was given the choice between a 9 a.m. and a 4:30 slot. The person is flying in took the 9 a.m. slot. They're flying in, taking the 9 a.m. slot, and then flying back out. So I'll probably be doing the third. So might be going back down to Nashville next month and recording a video because we were talking about maybe going to there's like a health summit thing the next day. It's just too expensive to go to. So I think we may hang out and cook some, or and maybe make some videos for you guys. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So Chris is doing it at 10 a.m. So the 9 a.m. would have been better for me, but the person's flying in took the 9 a.m. slot. But that's okay. That's okay. No crunch at all. Okay, that's good to know. Stacy has some. She says in her all her spices. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Keto Crusade. It's funny that Chris says this. He's like, "I'm surprised Dustin and Victor aren't sick of me yet." I feel the same way. I'm like, they're gonna get bored with me. They're gonna know that I'm a fraud. You know what I mean? All the things. That's how they're gonna be. You know. Stacy says, "Of course, tomato powder from our pantry." That sounds delightful. Yeah, they have a 10 a.m. slot. Okay, so I got a 4:30 slot. I haven't even confirmed if I'm going to be able to make it down there. I got to confirm with the wife. I'm still trying to get a job and all those fun things. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yes, Keto Crusade tonight. Streaming on all 3 channels, as well as my X channel. So be on the lookout. We're going to be doing it tonight. We're doing it upright. Hmm. I'm excited. Are you excited? Oh, my goodness gracious. I love it. Do you love it? I love it. But with that, I think it's time to say goodbye. It's almost 3 hours. I think my coffee's empty. I have some stuff to handle today. We'll see how much of it I actually get done before time to go live tonight with Chris and Victor. Love you guys. Love you, Chris, Ash, Mel, especially Mel, Stacy, and Evelyn, and Ken, and Andy, and Susan, and everybody. Yes, even Rick and Sean. Everybody. All you wonderful, wonderful, amazing people. Cindy included. Thank you, Jay, for joining us all the way from Australia. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are truly amazing. Thank you, Sonny, for the gifted memberships. Thank you for all those who donated super chats. Truly means the world to me. It truly helps helps the community, helps me be able to do things like afford to drive to meetups and go places. Thank you all so very much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And with that, here are the credits. Love you all.